Episode 631 of the Working Class Bowhunter Podcast. Eric, you're looking just fabulous.
You're looking good.
Thanks, brother.
Doug's looking all right.
Yeah, you're decent.
I'll take it.
Decent for a guy with a mustache.
Okay.
A little creepy, but
Little
thanks for
creepy.
being here. Yeah, a little
creepy.
weird. A little strong on the face features. But you're looking good. You shaved. You're going to rock like a soul patch thing and get rid of it.
Yeah, I
I thought you were
decided against that.
going with the gross C, but you didn't do it.
Nah.
Big
I backed
bummer.
out.
This is one of two episodes this week. So we're gonna get to the biz. The podcast is brought to you by Elite Archery. Big Time is also a big sponsor of this show. Code WCB 2024. Joe's in here for this ad read. Joe, is pear really all the craze right now? You're here to take advantage of this.
It really is.
Pears? Why pears? Because people I think are like, why
Driving
pears?
me pears.
I don't have pear trees in the Midwest.
Shout out to the pair.
Shout out to the pear. Well, the whole pear thing, a lot of people are saying, why pear? And it's kind of like going back to the cherry rush. Like, no one was doing cherry flavored anything before we came around. And we didn't want to reinvent the wheel with another blend or another style, but like, what can we do different?
It's fine.
And with the triggered, the pear did really, really well, and it's such a unique smell and attractant. Like, let's go full line with it. So,
yeah.
I mean, the block came out, the feed came out, the trigger's still there.
The lick brick.
The lick brick for Doug.
The brick lickers.
Yeah, we're going to do a brick pick promo on Instagram.
Send us your brick pics.
Send us your brick pics. We
I like
see
that.
them. So, yeah, it's going to be good.
Cool. So you're going to be the one standout partner that gets the full plug because you're here in person because this is the short intro week
I appreciate that.
we've been doing. So code WCB 2024. What's the flat rate shipping thing going on
Yeah,
now?
man, we just came out with flat rate shipping, and the beautiful thing about that, it's going to be $250 for wherever you want to go. So all the bulk totes and then palletized feed items, $250. Like
A full pallet.
a full pallet, 2,000 pounds. I mean, residential deliveries, you live down a dirt road, doesn't matter. We're going to deliver to your house for $250.
Gangster.
Can't beat
And
that.
the best part about that is
can't.
the WCB code does apply to that.
Oh,
So,
whoa.
so you're saving a ton of money, and it's coming right to your house, right to your barn, wherever you want it to go. You tell us where you want it. Make damn sure you put your phone number on there because the trucking company is going to be calling you for an appointment, and they're going to let you know when they're coming. But yeah, it's going to be huge for everybody. I mean, like, it's just more
Guys that
convenient.
couldn't get pallets before that one them had to
Right.
fuck around with, they
And-
just get where they'll deliver it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're really feeding hard in those states where you're allowed to, sorry, Kurt.
Or not allowed to and you don't give a fuck.
I mean, it's going to be huge for
Yeah.
the summer. I mean, when this hits, it's going to be kind of, we're getting into turkey season. Everybody wants to fill that tag, and then they want to get into feeding season.
Okay, and also too, the code is WCB 2024. When our edition gets done, Eric and I and Doug have all been talking about carrying a pallet of Big Time in the studio. So you guys that are right across the river or food plot seed, that's the one thing since we are a dealer for Big Time.
Yep.
We might have food plot seed and supplemental feed available for you guys to swing through.
And that's saying, like,
To be announced on all that.
If anyone's local, too, I can order it and have it shipped to my house. So if anyone needs some stuff, get a hold of me.
Yeah, we can direct deal like that too.
Yep.
Just spitballing. I mean, if we know when I'm coming over, we can do a pre-order, and we'll just load the trailer up, come over, and drop it
Yeah.
off, and we can just kind of have
You're here for sure twice a year nowadays,
Yeah.
So I got a question on the flat rate shipping for $250.
Okay.
Is that from now on, or is it limited time?
No,
or
from now on.
From now on, okay.
No, we want to make it as easy as possible for people to get our feed.
Awesome.
And I think it's real going to help out. The discount code is going to save you tons and tons of money, and it comes right to your door.
Love that. Well,
Damn
thank you for doing that with the code and all that. It's fucking awesome.
Shout out to the pair.
Shout out to the pair.
Get some of that.
All
pear,
thanks to
baby.
the pair.
Code WCB 2024. Big Time. Huntworth Clothing, HuntworthGear.com. Code WCB15. Old Barn Taxidermy. Joe just picked up a mount from Old Barn.
Yeah, I'm an erection of emotion.
Erection of emotion.
I mean, I'm with you guys in studio. Austin delivers me my Iowa buck from 2023 get to be here with Cartel. I mean, you don't get any better.
We got some
a
special.
good day.
We got some special drinks in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't be harder.
It's a good day. Couldn't be hard. Erect.
I'm hard.
Don't get disgusting with it. Old Barn Tax Center making on the game. Trophy line. From the whole mobile hunting game and packs. Grizzly hunting blinds and coolers. The Cartel boys were talking at dinner how much they love the Grizzly blinds, which is cool as hell.
They're the best there is.
You think you basically said how come everybody doesn't just shut it down?
Yeah, just go out of business. just give it up while you're ahead. I mean, there's just nothing better than those grizzly blinds, man. I mean,
I do agree.
Visibility, quiet,
Warm.
the windows, warm. The shelving system in them, bro. Like you just got to check it out.
Yeah, money.
Nothing like it.
And our code WCB works for everything at Grizzly.
Yep.
All the new drinkware, the hunting blinds, all that. Blackgate trail cameras R4G. It's Doug's favorite
Yep. Best one. Best camera out there.
ever, huh?
Ever.
For a man that's holding a turkey, you got to believe that motherfucker
Yeah.
right there. Code
Believe me.
WCB10. Black Ovis and Camo Fire. Daily deals on Camo Fire, Black Ovis. Really anything you fucking want ever, you can use our code WCB. Partner of ours or not. Solomon shoes, which I've been ranting and raving about. Everyone's making fun of me because they're calling me a Westie. I'll take it. Crispy shimmicks. I think are we all rocking the shimmicks?
I don't have
not
shimmicks.
yet.
I got
You guys are Colorado boys, aren't you?
Colorado
Colorado boys.
twos.
Yeah, and that's not a sponsor. We just get them at Black Ovis, but they have the Air ID builder, all that shit. Love it. Novix tree stands, code WCB. The hybrids out. The Hilo, the Echo. You know the drill.
Check
The
out
new
the
colors?
ladder stands.
The ladder stands. You like the
Yeah.
ladder stands?
It's the biggest ladder stand innovation in the last 20 years, bro. You seen those things? It's like hunting out of a spaceship. It's hunting out of a hang-on that's a ladder stand.
I do. I have one of the ladders. I'm just not a ladder stand guy, so I never talk about it.
No, but if you are a ladder stand guy, then you got to check it out.
And we're not paying Mr. Cartel to say that for the record.
No.
That was
Not at all.
I was off the spot right there.
Yeah. I
did
saw
really
him
good.
and I was like, what is this?
I need this.
Wow.
Code WCB on the ladder
Wow.
stands. Wow. Get you
Wowza.
one.
Coming from a turkey hunter, yo.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You ever killed a
High
turkey
praise.
from a ladder stand?
No.
Would you ever?
If it took that, sure.
Okay. You're
If
malleable.
it came, whatever you got to do to get it done, man.
I'm with it, dude. I'm with you, brother. Mountain Ops code WCB saves you 20%. Gives 5 meals to conquer hunger when you use code WCB. Mr. Cartel is drinking 800 milligrams of Bull Rush right now.
I'm on scoop 6 for tonight.
Dude,
Bull
brother.
Rush.
You about to start
Run a,
bugling?
run a triathlon without even moving, folks.
Yeah, dude. You know, why exercise when your heart does it for you?
When your heart does all the work.
Do it sitting still. It's multitasking.
That's right. That's not the plug they wanted, but it's the plug they needed and didn't
You're
know
gonna
it.
start bugling.
You can't overdose on it. If anybody was
Yeah,
wondering,
I don't think you can say that.
some folks
We
would
don't-
say that you pair it with an activity, and tonight's activity is having a podcast. But I pair typically 800 milligrams with sitting in a grizzly box blind or sitting in a Novix ladder stand or
Over some
doing
pear
anything.
feed.
Yeah.
Some pears.
Tying all the
Shout
partners
out to the
together.
pair.
Okay. Deercast, our choice in mapping and food plot tools and shot placement tools. You see more Dougcast memes popping up?
Dude, that one today was brilliant.
I didn't get to watch it the
I
volume
didn't
on.
see that one.
the Valentine's Day one.
It was pretty
I
good.
didn't see that.
Oh, it's good.
We'll get into it later. But Deercast is our choice. Loophole Optics, 10x42s is our choice. The new BX4 Gen 2s are out.
They're sexy.
So nice. Victory Arrows,
So clear.
Dialed Archery, the Arxos, and Slick Trick Broadheads. We want to shout out to all our partners for supporting wild motherfuckers like ourselves and doing out of the box podcast clearly like we're doing right now in the middle of. Yeah, if you're watching, you know what I'm saying.
Welcome back to another episode of Trap House. Who's your daddy?
It's so good, dude.
There it is.
I'm your daddy. We're back here bagging up
It's
some of the
me.
backwoods finest, chilling at your mom's house.
Let's get into it. Joe is here, and the boys from Cartel Custom Calls are here. What's up, fellas?
What up, man?
Thank you for coming back.
Thanks for having us back.
So let's talk, man, because I always, when we do the first podcast, right, like we met you guys here last time you were here in studio, and our thing is like when someone comes back, we're like, oh, fuck, we did a good enough job. You wanted to come back.
They wanted to come back.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
we never force anyone to come back.
That's right. We're like,
No.
hey, would you?
No, but we talked about the Aztec Warrior last year, and if you saw how many of your loyal listeners came and bought an Aztec Warrior out of support to try out the brand, or a Kilo or a Papa Smurf, and they used the code, yeah, you'd come back too, man. I mean, we can't thank your listeners enough, everybody out there, for coming out and supporting us, checking it out, seeing what it's all about, and I hope that everybody was more than impressed and satisfied with their order. Yeah, I mean, we just bagged them up and shipped them out as fast as they were coming in, but it overloaded us.
That's awesome.
We were in Massachusetts turkey hunt, and we had to go home.
No shit, you had to leave?
Yeah, we had to hurry up and shoot our turkeys. Yeah, we were staying at a buddy's house, and I had the press and everything set up on the dude's counter. I probably made 1,500 turkey calls on the guy's counter while we were there because we just got inundated. You'll see the footage. The footage will drop this spring, because I had Trent. He had a popcorn bowl. It was clean, of course, but he's sitting there bending frames. I got everything set up on the counter and stuff, and I'm just going to town, man, doing what it takes to, run a small business on the road.
That's why mine came and tastes like popcorn.
Yeah, it?
That flavored, that buttered flavor.
Orville Redenbacher.
You make flavored turkey calls.
I didn't really know this at the time. So after we launched that podcast and you guys came in, Joe introduced us, So Joe kind of gave you guys a warning that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah. We were kind of talking before and after. I'm like, you guys need to understand, like, the working class audience is the greatest in the world. And when you go on there, you're going to get flooded.
We were warned. We were well warned.
And I wasn't aware of this beforehand. I didn't know that you had given this.
What was it, like a week or 2 weeks later? I texted you.
Yeah, he
something.
said, just be aware. It's real. The listener base is real. And just, take that for what it's worth.
I'm checking in, and he's like, dude, we're about to shut down the website. Like, we can't handle this. I'm like, I tried to tell you, man.
That's so cool, man. That's so fucking
awesome.
cool. It's so cool to hear that.
Shout out to the listeners.
Dude, thank you guys so much.
Out.
That's what we want to do, man. Like, we want to, the thing is, the traditional hunting game industry is getting flipped on its head because of podcasts and you guys, supporting brands like Cartel and us, reckless motherfuckers, for lack of a better term, just having fun.
Oh, 100%.
Right? You know what I mean? It's what's better than that? Dudes having fun that I can get behind something. That's so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah. I mean, we can't thank you guys enough, the listeners, everybody. It's just awesome to have that level of support in the hunting community and trying something new that is completely out of the box and out of the norm, and I mean, everybody's coming out, buying 4 reeds, trying out something that's a little bit different. And I hope it worked for them, and I hope to see that continued support in the future. I hope we won their brand loyalty.
Hell yeah!
All right, so I think what we do is we just start off the rip because we talked about several weeks ago when we scheduled this podcast. We were chatting because we talked about how the listener reception to what you guys do and the orders was so good. It's what if we did a WCB Cartel Collab custom call?
We're working on it. The Goon. What did you want to call it? The Goon?
I think so. It was the Goon, and then Eric's let's call it the Gooner.
The Gooner.
The Gooner WCB
the Gooner.
Cartel Call.
And WCB colors with a WCB stamp.
The Gooner.
The Gooner Snooder.
Yep.
So we're gonna do the Gooner.
The Gooner.
Do you have any ideas on what kind of cut or anything you're gonna do, or the look? What's the vibe gonna be?
Something. It would just be your green and black. How you guys do it up, like the sign back here. Mm-hmm. Or we could do black and red like that one. But I think black
green and black.
Black and green is iconic, and that's what I see when I think of working class bow hunter. And I'd probably pair it with a very not generic, but a very versatile cut, like a V cut or a ghost cut or a combo cut. Just something that probably a batwing actually would, if I'm thinking about it in my head, batwing's pretty versatile. Mm-hmm. Most people can run it. And, just something that's fresh and going to last folks a long time.
Something that can work for everybody. And
oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate giving us that opportunity.
Still gives, it's your brand and it's coupled with you guys, but it still has our freshness, attention to detail, season-long durability, everyday versatility, baby.
Dude,
it up.
All right.
Run it.
I know I probably talked about this on the last episode, but I think you guys can see my excitement in it when you bring these fucking stickers and the shirts. I am obsessed with your branding.
Thanks, man.
It's the best branding in the game. It's just so good. I love it. To me, it has like this edgy, dark tattoo. Hipsterish is a downplay on it, but
Robber?
It's kind of punk for the scene. Robber, yeah, cartel, theft comes to mind. Grand Theft Auto, possibly, but it's very
Stealing turkeys'
it's
lives.
punk for the hunting industry.
Yeah.
It's tastefully punk.
Yeah.
And punk's not even the right term. I don't even like that adjective for it, but
But
It's
it makes
just
sense.
edgy and fresh, and it just keeps you guessing, and you never
Yeah.
know what we're going to come out with next. It's like a fruit roll-up, baby.
Ooh,
You never know what we're going to roll out with next.
what flavor?
Damn, Gina.
I love me fruit roll up, dude.
Dude,
But that's part of it, man. The brand has to have its own life, and you have to have that heartbeat and blood running through its veins, something that people that can grab onto and relate to. And I feel like the turkey hunter, the deer hunter, they just, it might take you all season to kill a deer. But turkey hunting's more of that fast game. You're kind of going state to state. A lot of guys are now. Back in the day, traveling and hunting wasn't as widespread, I feel like, as it is now. So you got a lot of guys that are traveling. They're trying to kill one in all 49 states, and they're going state to state as fast as they can kill them, as fast as they're going on to the next state. And so it's kind of got that fast feel, that kind of edgy, like you always kind of feel like you're robbing the bank or getting laid for the first time, like you don't know what to do with yourself. You're just kind of like, oops, got him. Let's go.
On to the next
There's a
one.
little bit of
Some days it's like it's either really hard and you can't get them shot, or it's almost too easy and it makes you feel like you robbed the bank. So, that's just kind
like
of our branding, and everything revolves around that kind of edgy feel, but it's a spoof on, not really a spoof, but it's kind of a play on how the old timers did it. You get your call in a little 2-inch by 2-inch baggie, and we kind of branded it and put it in some people call it a
dope bag.
dope sack, yeah, or a
Drug
crab
bag.
Some
sack
people.
or whatever. But it's got just it's got printing on it, but you also get a metal tin in there that's printed with our brand logo on it, so that it doesn't get crushed. It's not one of those crappy little plastic tins that breaks in your pocket. It's got some breathability to it, so it dries out. It doesn't get moldy, and it keeps your call nice and fresh and safe in your pocket. And I see guys all over now when we're traveling around using these tins for other things. They put their SD cards in it from their cameras, or they're keeping toothpicks in there. Who knows what?
what
They
else?
keep all
What
kinds-
else would people put in them?
I don't know. I mean, all kinds of stuff. I see people put gum in them, whatever, but they're always
What
there.
else?
I mean, I could keep going on and on, but I think that we're good right there. We can just you can leave it to imagination of what somebody would keep in there, but
Yeah, for sure. No, dude, I love
Mints.
just getting the foundation poured for this podcast yet again. It's like everything you're doing, it's impressive, it's honorable, it's clean, it's right. It's the branding's thought out, there's life to it, it's fresh, it's different, it's everything you want from my perspective as like a tattooed felon going to like spend money or support somebody. I'm not a felon, for the record, it's a joke.
But if you were, you
But if I was,
love these.
I would still support your brand.
for sure.
we wanted somebody to, when you got your call in the mail and you took it out and looked at it, you were like, man, like it wasn't just somebody just threw it together, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
wanted you to like be like, man, somebody really put some thought into this, because we love turkey hunting, but we love cool brands, right?
Yeah.
So, when you buy a product, you want to have that feeling of like they're thinking about me, and it's cool. It's kind of engineered all into what I'm doing and into turkey hunting, and
It's
these
handcrafted,
guys-
man.
Yeah, these guys really thought about it.
All right, one thing after the last year's episode, I think when we cut some clips and the podcast went out, people heard your voice obviously is like, there's no identity to it, but like what you are really, which is an identity at the same time. But I think people who didn't know what we did with the podcast, they saw the clips, people thought this was all a joke.
Right.
And it's a gimmick for a brand to what you guys do, but it's a gimmick and a brand that supports the passion.
Yeah.
Because the only thing we talked about to other people when they were asking us about the clip was, you don't understand how real these motherfuckers are when it comes to turkey hunting and killing turkeys. Some of the realest dudes in the game. You guys are turkey
Serious about it.
full blown, assassins. You guys care about turkeys and killing turkeys, and really like just bullshitting with you here at our bar and stuff is like the nostalgia around turkey hunting and turkey hunting culture.
Oh yeah,
Like you guys, that's you guys.
It runs deep, man. Yeah, I mean, we got old school stuff here. Like this was out of Grandma's china cabinet.
What is it?
It's just a raccoon with a turkey. but
Grandma's
that's-
porcelain, man. It's a raccoon with a rope.
It's just another example
Okay,
of
come
how
on, man.
fried it is.
Okay, we need a definition thing side and the bottom. Rope. Cartel refers to rope as turkey in general.
Yeah,
essentially.
adult gobbler, long bearded male turkey would be rope.
Okay.
And
Be
rope
rope.
is like it's like a pronoun. It's like a him, he, or a she, her. It's a gobbler slash rope slash long beard.
Did it
Hold
come
it
out your
together
nose?
now,
Did it
Kurt.
come out your nose?
Swallowed when I hit that. Oh, I took a carbless to the back of the nose.
A little fizzy in the nose is not good.
That was good. It just caught me right at the right time. I almost lost her here all over the mic here. Okay, that's amazing.
But we had the whole brand, dude. The like, if people think it's a joke or it wasn't real, it's you have to do something to stand out, and it's not like a Me Too brand. Like we had to do something that was fresh and clean and off the cuff to get some attention going in that direction to get the product in people's hands and get it out there. And because we knew that once they got it, they would be impressed, they would love it, and we would more than likely get their business again.
Repeat customers.
Yeah, but once you start going down that road, you got to keep going and go harder and bring it harder and bring fresher game every year, because people are they're expecting that.
Yeah.
They can't wait to see what you do next or what you come out with next. So every year it's, we have a new call collection, new pot calls. They just never know what's going to come out next. You got to keep going. It's a small season every year. In the springtime, at least, there's a fall season too. Most folks hate that, but there is.
Okay,
we love it.
Well, I want to get into that. I want to get into the calls. I want to get into all this stuff. But let's talk about right off the rip. We're fresh into this episode. Started talking about stuff on the table. Let's finish the table tour here.
The table tour.
And
Table tour.
I think we start, Joe. I think we need to give a shout out to the Burley Daddy right here.
The Burley, yeah. So Burley Raj, my dad.
Shout out to Raj. Thank you, Raj.
He loves
man.
Eric more than me.
100%.
The legend.
So what was it, 2 years ago? That
Yes.
Dad started bringing the White Russian mix
Yep.
to the shows. But that's when Russia invaded Ukraine, so we changed the name from White Russian to White Ukrainian.
We're woke.
And
Yeah.
for the past 4 months, Dad's been brewing this Kahlua homemade brew for
Kahlua type
Eric.
mix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's so
Kahlua type
good.
mix, but like it's like a homemade blend that he won't even give me the recipe to. But he was really excited for me to bring this over for you guys.
It's so good.
We're gonna kill that bottle tonight.
It's
Oh, 100%.
so good.
I'm about to make another one.
Yeah.
It's-
Rod, if you're listening,
So we're
perfect.
doing,
Hey.
it's half Burley Daddy. Cheers to Raj.
Cheers
right
to
here.
Raj, man.
Raj, you're the man. I hope you're listening. You better listen, Raj.
You better.
800 milligrams of freedom, baby.
That's right.
And if you want your own bottle, please reach out to Burley Raj on Instagram.
Oh, God.
Dude, but this label, let's give some attention to the label that Burley Daddy put on.
Yeah, he basically he made the mix and said, "Can you
Brand
make a
it?"
label for us?" So I went to the pet side marketing department and said, "Hey, can you guys throw together an idea?" So that's his biggest deer he's ever killed on there in the foundation clover plot that's in his backyard. But he's like, it has to say working class on there. It has to say working
God, I
class.
love your old man. He's
Dude,
the
Roger's
best.
the best.
He's the
was
best
so
guy.
pumped. And
I love him, dude, because he's like at the shows. He's like everybody's dad type figure.
for
He's just
sure.
like there's Raj is around, and dude, and he cuts the shit.
He's
with
always
the,
disappointed in me.
and
tube socks and the little white shoes.
I
and
love it,
everything,
dude.
And jorts, yeah, he's
full
awesome.
full blown dad. But he's there to give you fresh vegetables and get you drunk.
Yes,
100%.
He made me eat a
dad.
tomato at Illinois Deer and Beer. I'm like, yeah, I'll eat some fresh garden tomatoes.
He cut them up, sliced them up for us,
Yeah.
and we ate them.
he'll drink a beer with you, but only a beer because more than one will give him gout. So you got to be careful.
I thought gout was from meat, but
Not according
It's
to
from
him.
it was from salt,
Salt,
earlier.
yeah.
It was meat then salt, and it's just bad news.
anything can give you gout, really. That's what I heard. But anyway, big shout out to Raj.
Not white Ukrainians though.
Dude, white Ukrainians is the move.
They get rid of Gap.
That's an inside joke from Deer Fest, right? That just got spun into this? Or was it years
It
ago?
was Indy.
Indy.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
Indy. It was Indy. That's right. That's right. Okay, then we got
He was bringing the pints, and then
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like, clearly pints are not good enough, so he brings
A handle.
gives
Or
me
a gallon.
handle and says, "Take it on over."
and we're 2/3 through that handle.
Yeah.
Didn't last long.
I need another one.
That's all right. Then we got Grandma's China cabinet. We got the raccoon with the dead turkey over the
With the
shoulder.
rope.
Where the hell did you guys get that thing? The rope. I'm sorry. Where did that?
The porcelain?
Yeah, where did that come from?
Grandma's China cabinet.
Like legit?
Grandma picked that up at a thrift store for like $1 back in like '95, and she's like, "This looks cool. Do you like it?" I was like, "Hell yeah,
Really?
Send it. I'm gonna put it on my shelf." Then once we started doing the calls, I put it on the call shelf, and it watches over everything we do.
That's actually a really cool piece.
Yeah, it's like a jockey, but
Never seen another one.
Straight art. All right, what's this little bottle of love here?
this is from Tink Smith. This is in the old school collection at the house. It's West Virginia Love Potion. And Tink Smith used to take all the photos for all the the National Wild Turkey Federation symposium books, and for all their catalogs, all their calendars, all the covers of the magazine and stuff. And this is actually ginseng root in vodka, and he put them in these little bottles. The label has since fallen off this, but there's several other bottles in there that still have the label on them. But that's just like an old school piece of turkey hunting history.
Wow.
He passed away 15 years ago now, probably. But him and my grandfather were great friends, and that's where he got this bottle from.
So he bottled that.
Tink Smith did, yeah, in
No
West
kidding.
Virginia.
Wow. And it's ginseng root in that.
Yep, it's real ginseng root
Wow.
from the hills of West Virginia. And that's
That's
what he called it, West Virginia Love Potion. So a lot of the old school guys, if they hear that or see that, they'd know. I was filming a hunt with a game warden down there a couple years ago. We were standing there in the dark, and I had long hair then, and you just kind of like, who's this guy that's with me? And I'm standing there in the dark with him, and some hens started clucking on the roost. We were fall turkey hunting. And I just leaned into him, and I'm like, hey, man, have you ever heard of West Virginia Love Potion? I thought he was going to fall over in the dark. He was like, how do you know what that is? And I'm like, man, if you know, you know. So we had a great conversation about Tink Smith, but he was a awesome photographer, and he kind of, I don't want to say engineered, but he really kind of developed a lot. He pushed the boundaries in that aspect of photographing wild turkeys and stuff, and he was feeding them, and he had holes dug in the ground and stuff, and there's a whole lot of history there and how he was getting a lot of really iconic photographs of the bird down there. So it's just
kidding.
a piece of turkey history.
That's fun. Thanks for bringing this type of stuff. This is cool. This is good stuff that I think most people do not hear about.
No.
Okay, and what's this big golden moose?
Yeah, what is this?
That was the last year that they had Golden Moose Awards. I was filming for AVNX TV, and that was the first year I was doing broadcast television. I learned a lot from those guys. Shout out Matt Moret and Josh Grossenbacher and Fred Zink for that opportunity to work with those guys. Hunter Wallace, everybody involved over there. But that was the first year I did TV, and we won Best Turkey Hunting. And it was their first and only Golden Moose Award that they won for AVNX TV that I'm aware of.
Okay, it was your first year doing TV,
Yes, sir. Yep.
and you won a golden moose your first year.
Yep.
What the fuck? So
It wasn't my first. It was I had filmed and edited I think like a season of waterfowl, and then we went and I freelanced the turkey season before that with them. Then I did a waterfowl season, and then we went into that fall season, and that Golden Moose Award, the episode that won that, was actually a fall turkey hunting episode where we hunted with dogs at Turkey Trot Acres in Candor, New York, with Pete Clare and all the guides down there. I filmed Matt Moret, and it was just a cool. You hunt them with dogs, you run the dogs on them, they break up the flock of turkeys, you set up and you reassemble the flock. And it's just cool stuff that you never get to see really anywhere else. So
I never heard a dog hunt for
I haven't
turkeys.
I don't either.
it's badass.
Yeah, it was
Must be
not
as
your
a golden
typical
moose.
turkey hunt. Like when you think, oh, I'm gonna go watch a turkey hunt. No, this is like one that just bit right into you and pulled you in because it was just
Really?
full of tradition.
Oh,
Just
really?
Those guys, that's just what they live for, is hunting in the fall with their turkey dogs. And
In
those
the
dogs
fall,
are great.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
break
actually with a special breed of turkey with what's called an Appalachian turkey dog. That was
Wow. It's
it
actually
was
called a
bred
turkey
by the
dog.
Burns family from, I believe they're from Virginia, and it's called a Burn turkey dog. There's Appalachian turkey dog, which is technically a different breed. The Burn turkey dog is the most, I guess it's the most legendary, if you want to call it that, bloodline of turkey dog. You can use just about any setter type dog for breaking up wild turkey flocks. I've seen Boykin Spaniels do it. I've seen Irish setters and mutts do it, but the Burn turkey dog is what they hunt with at Turkey Trot Acres. And that lineage of dog, it's like a plot hound and a setter and something else mixed together. Over the years they've selected for that breed of dog, and that's their job, is they range a little bit further than you would like if you were pheasant hunting with a short hair or something like that. They range out and check back, and you have a GPS on them just like you would with a coon dog or a coyote dog. They kind of range a little bit. They range further than an upland dog would through the woods till they catch the scent of the turkeys. And then their job is they run down into the flock of turkeys and they bark, and they kind of go in a star-like pattern, and they break the flock of birds 360 degrees. And you can see on the GPS or visually or audibly where the break occurred. And the flock of turkeys will always reassemble at the break point.
Really?
Yeah. And then in a traditional way, like this hunt was filmed, Marlon Watkins, who's a box call maker from, I guess, southeast Ohio. He developed their wicked box call back in the day. And so that was kind of why we were filming that hunt. But you would sit down at the break site and you would use a collection of box calls to reassemble the flock. And basically, if you break hens and poults and you sit down and start calling, the flock of birds will almost immediately reassemble. There's
so
a
once,
lot of,
so once the dog breaks them up, that's when you run in, set up.
yeah, and the dog will sit in your lap, and they cover it with burlap. The turkey trot guys do, but a blanket, or sometimes they even put them in like a bag in between their legs, and the dog sits there and he's quiet or she's quiet while you start calling, and the birds start, a lot of times they'll just fly down and run, literally run
To where
right
they
in.
broke up.
Yeah, and you start key running and assembly yelping and cutting and gobbling, and you hear all the turkey sounds in a short
Interesting.
amount of
That's
time.
weird.
I didn't know that this was even a thing till
A
now.
kiki run is more of a fall call, right? It's in the fall. You hear it more.
That's when most people use it, but we use it in the spring too.
You do.
Be a little different, man. Just
Yeah.
throw everything out there everybody else isn't doing.
Yeah,
Right,
you'll hear
yeah.
Jenny hens key sometimes in the spring.
Okay, so one thing I want to do, I want to flip over to Austin. Austin, you've been killing birds for a long time.
Since 1997.
So, I was 7 for the record.
Quite a while.
Same.
I want to. You weren't on the last podcast with these boys.
Nope.
Are you? Because you love turkeys.
I do.
And you've got me more into turkey hunting than I ever thought I would have been. You and Joe, actually,
Yep.
both you guys have got me more into birds than I thought I ever would. And I do love turkey hunting. What do you think? Like, have you ever heard of that? Like, I'm interested on your take
Like
on
the
some.
dog hunting?
Yeah.
No, in the fall, that's a technique that we use back here. You can just run in and scatter a flock and then set up right in the same spot and they come back to it. But I've never heard of dog hunting that way. It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a lost art form. That's when I grew up as a young kid in the fall. That's how we did it.
Yep.
Can you even do that here?
Yeah. Oh,
With dogs?
Well, I don't know about with dogs, but in the fall, that's like the most effective way to kill a bird, I think. Just run
Really?
at the flock, scatter them.
I've never even heard of that.
They come right back in.
It's fucking cool. I love it, dude.
We
Like,
always just had fall tags, and if you saw a turkey, you just shot it.
when I talk to you
Bang,
guys,
dead.
because like Austin, when I turkey hunt with you, I'll never be like, yeah, let's do this for a turkey hunt. I might have a suggestion, but I never do it with confidence. So it's like I've killed a number of birds with Austin. I've killed some birds with Joe. And I'm always just like, you're the turkey guy. I'm here to just shoot one. Like,
I'm the trigger man.
you know, I feel that way when I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, Doug, you know turkey's more, you know what I mean, Eric? You're like, we're probably the same way when we're with Doug. We're like, hey, you're the turkey fucking guy.
Yeah, you run the calls, you do all the shit. I'll just shoot it.
I'm looking to you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I'm looking forward to, like Turkeypalooza this year. You guys, are you boys going to be around for Turkeypalooza?
Ooh.
I mean, since you put it in the realm of like we're just getting used for our calling ability.
No.
Like,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
for the day.
You took that the wrong way. I'm looking for the shaman experience.
You're looking for this ultimate spoon feed, is what
I'm trying. No. Look at it this way. I want the third eye of turkey to open in my head.
right.
I don't turkey hunt, so I'll film you killing one.
You know what I'm saying?
Opposite roles.
It could be skewed the other way. You guys have shamaned me.
Turkeypaloozas came a long way since we started it. When was it? Like probably spring of 18, I think, when we started it.
Yeah, 17,
probably.
18.
So we've just like made it a party every year, and now it's kind of morphed into this thing. We're going down to Greg's place.
Yeah,
this
Greg
spring.
Ritz's place.
So it's going to be a real party down there. It's going to be fun.
But I want to say, don't take that the wrong way. We're not using you. I want the third eye of birds, of the dirty bird, of the rope. I want the third eye of rope.
Yeah,
Enlightenment.
We're not using you. We're
Enlightenment,
learning from you.
Come into the Buddhist shrine and be fully enlightened.
The rope and
Try to live in the present.
I'm going to shave my head.
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to get a turkey beard tattooed down the center of my...
That'd be dope.
Your soul patch.
like a tribe. No, I'm not doing that.
Just a rope.
I got stolen by the turkey tribe and they tattooed my face. No, I think, the enlightenment of the rope.
Yeah, we're gonna try to make it. We're usually deep into our northeast run, but
How many states you guys hunt in a spring?
Anywhere's from, it's been 5 to 18 the last 5 springs.
That's insane.
The 18 spring, dude, you're just completely done. Like you're not even part of the world. It's like you're just kind of in the air and you're watching yourself.
You're basically
hunt.
a turkey at that point.
Your
It's shot.
It's fried.
It's fried. It's done.
You guys are just talking to
How
each
many
other in
birds
turkey
did
calls.
you guys kill in the 18 year?
I don't even know because we had buddies coming in and out of camps.
Oh, and you were like guiding and stuff?
I wouldn't say guiding, but we were spoon feeding.
Okay. Helping people kill turkeys.
Yeah.
kinda.
How many turkeys collectively between the two of the cartel boys here? How many turkeys have you been responsible? How many turkey deaths have you been responsible for?
I'd have to do the math, man. You know,
Give me a
rough guesstimate.
a wild number.
Scores.
yeah, it's like Beavis and Butthead, man. It's like, yeah, we're
It's
gonna
like
score.
4 score and 10
We're gonna
years ago.
score, man. I honestly don't know, dude. I never kept track. I mean, I probably have almost every license that I've ever hunted with since '96.
1,000?
No,
1,000 turkey
no, not
deaths?
1,000. It'd probably be something between,
But you're a part of, though. You got to
I
add
don't
that
know,
in.
100 and 300-ish.
I would say that on
You guys
a
are putting me
normal-
on the spot. You need to stop it.
I would
We're here
say
to challenge you. We're
in
here
a
to challenge you.
normal season, I film anywhere in a normal spring. So starting like March 1st till June, whenever it ends in Maine, I would say that I probably personally film, I average like 40 a spring. Get shot up.
That's a pile, brother.
Called up and shot up.
Just filming. That's not killing.
That's just filming. That's just bared witness to the.
Okay. Let me ask
You're
you
an
this.
accessory?
You're going to have the wholesome, and quote, Facebook groups that are going to listen to clips of this podcast are going to put out, and the turkey population guys.
Yeah, and you're gonna say, well, the gobble went away, and now you know where it went.
Elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, that's just a silence contractor, man. You know, the working class bow hunters can't get out till the weekend, and in the middle of the week, it's just going for a ride in the truck, man. Like that's. If you want to talk about the turkey population, guys, that are crying about that, there are places in the world where that's real. Like I've seen places in Oklahoma where it's gone from ridiculous, out of control, like hitting them with your car, to completely virtually non-existent overnight. But it's a different subspecies. Easterns they don't have the boom and bust cycles that Rios do. There's something going on with the Rios, and I think they're working on figuring out exactly what's going on with them. Obviously, there's the avian cholera or avian influenza issue going on, but they've kind of exercised that, but they found that something like they sampled birds in Maine. They found that like 80% of the turkeys in Maine, or some ridiculous number, had the antibodies for avian influenza. So they had been exposed to it and survived it, just like a deer would survive EHD.
Yeah.
And the turkey population up there is extremely healthy. So obviously it didn't have too much of an impact on them, but you know, they also have the right habitat where the genetic diversity and the gene flow through the population is also very healthy. The birds are intermixing, you know, they're not segregated or separate or otherwise geographically isolated. So you have a lot of gene flow, a lot of variation, you know, amongst the birds. I think that they're exercising something more like the seed coating in commercially planted crops is potentially being an issue with the Rios down in like Oklahoma, Texas, but a lot of it just comes down to drought. They're very drought sensitive birds. The hens won't even try to nest on yours when there's a drought. There has to be a certain amount of average rainfall for the hen to even attempt to nest. So I mean, they're a lot more boom and bust type bird. I mean, I've seen states like Nebraska go to where if you're a non-resident, you have to draw a tag to hunt there in the spring, when like 3 years ago you could go and shoot like 3 in the spring as a non-resident. You just buy them over the counter. I think that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, you see places like Kansas shutting down fall season. I mean, Kansas used to have a ton of turkeys and they just got shot up pretty bad. Mm-hmm. Plus they have the agriculture, but there's a lot of Rios there, and that's kind of typical Rio stuff. I mean, the Easterns, we're not having an issue with Easterns. A lot of that is guys start crying turkey poverty because somebody around them goes and puts in some foundation clover, and the status quo changes, and all of a sudden there's no turkeys over there gobbling, or
they're over on the neighbor's clover, the big time clover, and getting shot in the face over there.
Yeah,
with Joe Humphreys.
Who knows?
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Oh,
what?
Oh, he's here.
What's a characteristic? So, like, all the subspecies of turkeys. I've heard. You know, we've done the Turkey OG series we did on Deercast, and like we've kind of got into slightly a little bit like characteristics from like an Eastern to a Rio, like Osceola. Like, what is like? If you had to put a characteristic on each subspecies of turkeys, what would you guys like give each one? Like, if it was like, okay, I had to label the Eastern and the Rio as like that's the characteristic, what would you guys personally label each subspecies?
Rio is attitude problem.
Like aggressive?
Yeah, aggressive.
Super aggressive.
Go out of their way and go to the next town over and around to get on your side of the creek to come beat up a decoy.
Oh, really? Okay. So Rio aggressive.
They're the Karens of it.
Merriams are just fat and lazy, and they have way too many hens.
And they're also they share the most amount of DNA with a farm turkey, so they're the closest related. They're of all the subspecies, they're the closest related to an actual like barnyard bird.
To me, they're the prettiest because the white tips and
they're super pretty.
Yeah, and we don't see them.
Yeah. They're also super stupid.
They are.
Oh hell yeah, man! It's fun.
They gobble at everything. They won't stop gobbling. Yeah, they're like they're the Goulds kind of to an extent, but Merriams are the bird that will gobble at you nonstop, even though they got lead feet and they're just kind of concreted in place. But they're still gonna gobble. Right. They're just gonna sit there and gobble and gobble.
Rio's aggressive. Merriam's lazy.
Super lazy.
Goulds. Explain a Goulds.
So a Gould's, I believe the exact, I mean, I'm not an encyclopedia, but if I was going to give you the Reader's Digest version, they're a Merriam, but they exist and persist at higher altitude or higher elevation. I think it's like between like 4,000 and 6,000 feet. I have to look it up, but there's a certain.
Are they part of the World Slam? A Gould's? Or the
World
Slam.
Yep.
Yeah, that and an Ocellated.
Ocellated, which is a Mexican turkey.
Yucatan.
Yeah.
Yucatan territory. Yucatan territory. All right, so Rios. Oh, all right, for people listening, Where's in general, and I'm sure there's some buffer room, the territory of a Rio? I've killed a Rio. I killed a Rio in
Southeast,
West
up
Kansas.
into Kansas, and like
Texas,
typically
Oklahoma,
up through that whole center part up in
But isn't
Kansas.
there populations of Rio in the Northwest?
Yeah, they have them up in all the way up into Oregon, I believe.
Weird.
Yeah.
How the fuck did that happen? Just relocation to
Yeah, when
Someone
they-
took one up there and
Yeah,
transplanted it.
There's a pocket of Rios.
That, and you got a lot of hybrids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you get
Rio Easterns. and
double range matching over each other.
Cause that's where we dealt with. We hunted with the Prairie
Yeah,
Storm boys. There were
the
some
either
hybrid
or.
birds and
Typically, that's where you find the highest concentration of turkeys are where multiple subspecies overlap. Places like Nebraska and Kansas, where Easterns and Rios intermix.
interesting.
The genetic
Get all
diversity, I think-
intertwined and stuff.
Infused.
Hybrid
Infused.
vigor is a term that people should be acclimated to, where multiple subspecies or species intermix, and the hybrid, like a tiger muskie, or you can fill in the blank with other types of hybrids, where they're actually more fit because of the genetic diversity. They can handle climatic variations.
mutts.
And
They just deal with
they're
their
like
mutts.
a mutt dog. Yeah, they're less likely to get cancer. I mean, I don't know if the turkey's less likely to get cancer, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, I know what you're saying.
dogs are typically a little bit more robust.
Right,
So,
all right, so let's
but
talk-
back to I want to take you back
Yeah.
to a Gould.
Okay.
The Goulds are a high elevation Merriam, if you want to think about it that way, and they markedly have a higher drought tolerance, so they'll travel miles. I think up to like 10, 12 miles in a day to get water.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they like to roost in the Chippewa pines and stuff. And they're in like northern Mexico into central Mexico. They're more of like a high elevation desert turkey.
Okay.
Weird.
They're like a more badass
And they're bigger.
Rio, but they're kind of like a Merriam in their look.
Yeah, they look a lot like, they're not really so much Rio. They're more like a Merriam.
They're a motivated Merriam.
They're a motivated Merriam.
An M&M.
Yeah. And they travel. They
Good
like
job, Eric.
like Rios. People think Rios will fly down and they'll travel a good distance. Merriam's kind of too, but like Goulds hit the ground and they're moving.
They're moving.
I mean, moving.
Okay. So in the Turkey Slam, we covered Rio, we covered Merriam. Gould's was we're gonna get back to the. I think
They're a
this-
specialty item.
a specialty item off the menu.
They got an asterisk
they're a
behind the
nice
name.
side. They're a heavy. They're an appetizer.
Yeah, they're an appetizer.
Okay, the Eastern, which would be what most of our listeners are familiar with, what they have at home in the Midwest, and then all the way to the East Coast. Mm-hmm. Fair.
Yeah, the king.
And the
Easterns
king,
or king?
the biggest bird, right? Is it Eastern?
No, Goulds is probably the biggest.
Really?
Oh, okay. Bigger than an Eastern.
Yeah, typically, yeah.
Okay. Out of the normal Turkey Slam, the Eastern's the biggest, though.
Yeah.
Okay, what's a
Are we
what would
saying
you
biggest in weight or like
body?
beard
Biggest
size
in
spurs?
weight. Heaviest in weight, especially in the Midwest, I would say they're probably the heaviest.
Some
And the
thick old
earlier,
bullish.
just like a buck, like a white-tailed deer or mule deer, elk or whatever. Like if you shoot them before the rut, obviously they're filled out and they're pretty fat. But after they go block to block and breed
Strutting everywhere.
however many hens, they kind of lose weight.
Yeah. What would be a characteristic you would apply to an Eastern?
King of spring.
Just the king.
Just the king. Just the gobble out of them alone is the king out of all of them. Like the other
king
ones
of
are just
spring.
playing games.
They're in there like sound like they're trying to kill you.
It's just like you're pulling it out of them, and they're just like, I'm over here.
They're
And
just, they're
Eastern's
just
like,
always talking shit.
Easterns just bite a chunk right out of the air, and they're like, I'm here, man. Just
Okay.
man, I like
that
that
gets
right
me
there.
excited a little
Fired
bit.
up.
yeah.
Dude, do that again. Can you do that again?
They're like a fucking T-Rex, bro. God damn.
That's what they are. They're a dinosaur.
Let me holla at you.
Let me holla at you. It's since Austin said that the first time I was
dinosaur.
turkey hunting with Austin, it just every time a bird go holla 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 holla, I'm like, yeah, that's what he's doing.
Let me holler at you.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and then we're going to Florida, right?
Osceola.
What's the deal with the Osceola?
The long leg, long spurred bird down in the swamps of Florida.
What's the deal with them birds down there, man?
What's with Florida?
they're a fun kick on it, man. I don't know. They're kind of in between. I'd say they're definitely more of a king than your Merriams and your Rio and your Golds. They definitely have that gobble that means business, like an Eastern, but it's going to sound different to you because you're down there in the palmettos and you're in a foot of water and you're walking around snakes and crocs or alligators and all that kind of shit.
How is there any birds on there, dude?
That's a good
How the fuck is
Because
there any
it's
birds?
fried, man. That's why.
It's fried.
rope
It's like
is fried.
it's hunting a dinosaur in Jurassic Park.
That's for real.
Is what that is.
So here's one that with the Osceola, because I want to kill one day, you know, in my lifetime. I'd like to have like I have a turkey.
Get your
sling.
checkbook out. They're proud of them.
Oh, they are because you have to be there to kill them, right?
One
Because they live in a
specific little area in the
small,
whole United
little
States.
area.
What's
We got
what's
it.
an Osceola
I know a
hunt
guy.
cost?
An
know some
Osceola,
guys.
what does it cost?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, anywhere from $2,000 to $3,500 typically is the price range that you're looking
Shit,
at.
fuck.
Really?
Plus a tag.
All right. What does an Osceola look different than the rest of the birds?
Yes.
Really dark.
Dark.
So,
Everything.
Really
dark.
dark wing bands. Everything about them is just real dark black. And then you got really a lot longer legs, and you'll notice that when they're coming in, you're like, man, those things look long-legged.
Oh,
and
that's
then you
weird.
shoot one, and you're like, look at those spurs on that, man. I like that.
Yeah.
It's like I want to be formal, but I'm here to party.
Oh,
Do you
wow.
want the scientific background of it?
Yeah, I
though?
love that. Yeah.
So
100%.
the marketed characteristic of an Osceola is white barring on the primary feathers that does not reach the shaft. So the other subspecies where you have the white barring will go all the way to the feather shaft, the centerpiece that comes down. An Osceola does not.
Can you pull up a picture of one?
So there's more black barring on the wing feathers, especially the primaries. They have longer spurs, and the tarsal measurement, so from the toe to the first bend, which would be on the decoy right here, this like knuckle back here.
Yeah.
Is that,
That-
an Osceola there?
That
this
on average is somewhere.
It's like an Eastern.
It's like an inch and a half longer, roughly, than the other subspecies. The
Okay, so-
distance from there to the foot.
Okay, so is this an Osceola? Can you tell from this picture if I just Google image this?
It doesn't look like it, no, because the white barring goes all the way to the feather shaft.
White barring goes all the way to the feather shaft. I'm trying to follow you here.
The feather shaft, like the.
See
Oh.
the white barring? That's the shaft.
Yes.
The white barring goes all the way to the feather shaft.
Okay, let me.
So that'd be an eastern.
Okay. I just typed in.
What's the peacock looking one?
That's the Mexican turkey.
That's the ocellated.
Yeah, that one. If you go up, see how the black barring doesn't continue to the feather shaft. See it right there. See how
Oh,
the
yeah,
feather
yeah.
shaft of the feather.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Wow. All right. Interesting stuff.
But isn't that they're darker birds because of the amount of sunlight
Yeah,
that
so-
they're receiving?
So when
Oh, yeah, tan.
when birds produce dark pigmentation, it's called melanin, and birds are very, I guess, circadian rhythm plays a lot more of a role in birds and how they produce proteins. So when they're exposed to sunlight for longer periods of daylight, they produce more melanin. And so what you're seeing is any feather that a bird produces, even if it's a solid color, if you hold it up to light, you'll see light bands and dark bands. The dark band is where more melanin's deposited. That's during daylight hours. So because they're in that strip of Florida closer to the equator and they're getting more hours of sunlight, they have a longer period of when they're growing the feather where they're depositing the melanin. And that's where that dark band distinction comes between that
fucking
and
cool,
the light
dude.
barring.
It's weird
It's so interesting. Okay, that
because of sunlight.
was
all
the
due to sunlight.
best detailed descriptor in conversation I could have had of how an Osceola is different than the rest of birds.
Damn,
You can't say these guys aren't serious about turkeys.
Dude, it's like
for sure.
yeah, these dudes in ski
Yeah.
masks know their fucking shit.
Oh,
Come debate them.
100%.
If you have a question, come debate them. Okay, so we covered Rios, Merriam's, Easterns, Osceola. That's like the standard turkey slam, right? The 4.
Yep.
Okay, then we had the
Ocellated and the Goulds.
Ocellated and the Goulds. Gould, what we talked about. We're going to come back to the Goulds. I don't remember what for. Maybe we didn't need to. And then the Ocellated is the Yucatan Mexican turkey that's like
Jungle. Guatemala.
Peacock-like.
Yeah.
I want to kill one of those.
Yeah, the birds are cool.
They gobble up, not out.
Yeah, look at a video of one of those gobbling. It's from high to low. You're going to love
And their
it.
spurs are megas, right?
Oh, yeah, they got dags, but
What,
no
aren't
beard.
they little?
Dags.
They're smaller. They're a lot smaller. They're like half the size of an Eastern.
What's it called?
An Ocellated.
No beard, but big old dags.
It's OSC.
Right there, down one. Oh, you had it there.
Fuck it. OSC.
ELL.
Right there. Dang. That thing's beautiful.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
You got cows down there,
Almost
too.
like a peacock.
Oh, look at that
Yeah,
thing.
so you can see his spurs there. That's a really
Holy
good example.
shit.
But they lack a beard.
Shitty video.
And the caruncles on them. So
Caruncles?
the caruncles. So like on an Eastern, the big balls around their neck are actually the structure in a bird that it would be the caruncles, and they get inflamed when the bird is older and stuff. And so on his top, on his crest, you can see the yellow, like that bluish and the yellow, structure that's on the top of the bird's head on the crown. That would be his caruncles. And the adult gobblers, it's longer and taller and more swelled up. You can also see how he has a full tail fan, just like in the other subspecies of turkeys, a jake or a hatchier bird would have the step fan. These birds have the same step fan if they're a hatchier or a jake, because they haven't replaced their feathers completely.
Oh, they're cool, man.
They are really
Have you
cool.
killed one?
I haven't personally killed one, but I filmed them get killed, and I can promise you one thing: it's an adventure to get there. It is. It takes you at least a day, sometimes a day and a half, to actually get to where you hunt them, and you're with guides that are Mexicans, typically like a Mayan descent or like indigenous type people.
Yeah, I'm out.
And
Just kidding.
It is sweet. And you get down there and like you look at them online and stuff, and you get down there and you're in the jungle. It's hot.
It would be an experience,
snakes, jaguars around and stuff. And like, but when you see that thing coming slipping through the timber, there's no doubt in your mind. You're like, that is a turkey, 100%. There's no question.
It's weird how he like bends his neck back.
Just how they walk through the woods and everything, and they call them in with megaphones and
Really?
yeah, they make decoys and stuff for them now too. They're
Are they harder to hunt?
yeah, they're hard to hunt because they live in the jungle, which
Yeah,
is typically
okay.
like
Wow.
there's no openings. Although there is openings down there. There's farming, there's Mennonite farms and stuff like that down there. But they'll just like our turkeys, they gravitate to openings.
Cool.
But when you're in the jungle, it's hard to like see them and find them. But the guides are really good. They know like traditionally where they roost, like what trees they roost in, what areas.
Do you
in
have
the
a call
jungle
for
they
one of
roost.
them?
We don't.
Is that their drumming that like?
Yeah, they beat their wing on their chest. Unlike our turkeys, where it's like a muscular twitch that goes across that bag that they inflate, they have like the inflation, but not necessarily the twitch, but they beat, and you can hear that.
It's almost like grouse-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's one thing. All right, let's talk drumming a little bit. Then I want to get to like your guys' line of calls, because I don't. The first time I heard a turkey drum like on top of us was I was with you, Austin. I'm like, oh shit, that's an experience. That's an experience
weird.
most people don't know that exists. Like right here in the Midwest, like.
Talk about them call it hissing and booming.
Explain it.
So what's happening when they do that?
They're just it's just like a little puff of air, but he used to have a pet turkey that we called Thomas, and you could hold him. He would come over strutting like a cat, and he'd rub up on you and stuff, and you could hold him, and you could, talk, yo, to him with your mouth or whatever, and you could get him going, and he would drum while you're holding him, and you could feel there's actually just like a sage grouse where you can see the air sacs they inflate. I don't know the name for the structure, but the turkey underneath their feathers, they inflate that. It's like kind of like a sponge-like structure. They inflate it, just like if you were to like hold air in your lungs. And then they have this like muscular twitch, right? That's how I would describe it. This like quiver that goes over the outside of that sack, and that's what creates the
Yeah, because it's like bass drum, like
yeah, just like a rough grouse. Yeah,
yeah, and like when you feel it, because you can't hear it on video, like you can feel it.
Yeah,
it's like a bass. It's like the sound of a.
Makes your brain vibrate.
Yeah, it's
It'll
like-
melt your
Really
brain.
You
Yeah.
hear
Low
it, but it's
frequency.
more of a vibration than a sound.
I
Yeah,
can
you
imagine
like feel it in your
It's like
body.
you're feeling it. Yeah, it's just they pop their wing and they go, and it's right after it's just,
Yeah,
and
so
sometimes
cool.
you can't even tell where it's coming from. It's like you freeze and you're like, man, is that coming out of my right?
But you
ear
know
or
they're
my left?
close.
Or they're close.
Yeah.
When
You get
what
ready.
do you think's the threshold that you can? How many yards to where you can feel a drum or not feel a drum?
It depends.
What do you mean?
And it depends on the turkey that's drumming, and it depends on the terrain that you're in, it depends on the humidity, it depends on a lot of factors. But like we've been hunting in Texas where you can hear it for hundreds of yards.
Yeah, you hear
Really?
it a ways, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You sit down and yelp, and you could hear them drum at it from wherever they were, out in the mesquite flat someplace, who knows where.
Shit.
See,
Something
I would-
like
I would-
50 max or something.
well, if somebody would have asked me before, I'd have been like, "You got to be sub 30 yards to feel a drum."
False.
See, that's what I would have said before, honestly.
They
But-
can hear it a long ass ways away.
Yeah, they
I can
can.
tell you that for free.
Do you use it a lot?
You guys remember the old
Thank you.
mad call? They made a mad call that was like a spit and
Yeah.
drum call. So I called in my biggest bird with that call. I couldn't get him to come in with a mouth call, so I like snuck in.
What was it? What was the call?
It's like a tube,
It
and
looked
it
like
had
that
cork in
squirrel
it.
call.
Yeah.
With
You ever
the, like-
see that one with a tube on the end of it?
All right, let's look it up. Let's look it up.
This was like almost like a deer call. It had like an extender, and you do it with your mouth. You and blow into it. And I called in this megalodon. He had like huge hooks on him, but
This
I'll never forget
megalodon.
that.
A spook magnum.
That's funny you say that. When that came out, I used to only hunt with that call when I was a
Really?
kid. I wouldn't even hunt with a turkey call. I'd
And it
go out
worked?
there and sit there. And the thing about it is, you can do it as much or the least amount that you want to. It doesn't matter if you sit against that tree and you blow that call 200 times in 10 minutes or you do it 3 times. It's all natural. Just depends on what those birds are up to that day. Dude, I'd do that. I'd go... I'd give it 10 minutes. Bird would answer it immediately. 200, 250 yards away on a clear
No
day.
kidding.
Really?
You gave that thing half hour, 45 minutes, gave him a few more of those, he'd answer it, he'd be right up in your lap.
No shit.
Bang.
You can
Shotgun
do
to
it
the
with just your
face.
mouth too, and it's effective. Sometimes when
Like
birds
how
won't
so?
break,
It's-
you just just like that, just like how I just did it.
Just that vibration, they can tell.
Yeah, that it's the tone
through
and the rhythm
snood,
of
right?
it. That just doesn't have anything to do with the snood. The snood's totally different, bro.
Yeah, don't get on the
Sin
been getting that wrong.
snoods.
That-
Yeah,
you said they
Sun
can-
Snoods,
They
Snood
can feel
Entertainment.
vibration through it, so they
Yeah.
they can feel the vibration of the.
The
Yeah.
drum. So I want real quick thing. I talked my mom into. I didn't know how to talk her into it. I'm like, hey, you want to try and hunt turkeys this spring with me on our farm? Just apply for turkey tag. So my mom drew a turkey tag, and I'm taking her hunting.
Very cool.
Never been hunting with my mom,
Hell yeah!
and I'm like, I just feel like the turkey thing could be so fun.
Right.
Like, yeah, that could be
It's a great way to get new hunters in.
Yeah.
hunting.
So I'm like, we're gonna set a ground blind up on the farm, right over the big time plot, because I've had turkeys in there all fall, and I never had an opening on my farm. I made an opening for the buck brunch plot, and they're in there.
100%.
So I'm gonna put a ground blind just off the plot. We'll sneak right over the hill, hop in there, get in there early, and
Pop it up and shoot
You imagine
it
a
up.
person that's never turkey hunted and that's all you did was spit and drum.
that's why I
All the
want her
time
to
it's
hear.
like,
I want to hear.
what the
I want
hell?
her to hear the drum, because I think she'll be like, "Oh shit, I didn't know this
God
existed." You know?
Yeah, and they change it too.
Yeah.
There's different drums. Like if you really study it and listen to it, like they'll change it. They'll go from like a passive to like it gets
Yeah, full blown.
really like where you can like feel it's like you
They're
know there's-
wanging.
Yeah, like it can get aggressive.
Okay, let me ask you. You had before we move on, you had a pet turkey. Mm-hmm. What do you?
Thomas, R.I.P.
Thomas.
Did you just go buy
Thomas the Turkey.
No, Thomas was already a legend in my mind before I bought him. And there was this.
Okay, explain this.
Well,
The story's great.
We used to go to the local bar when I had this apartment a few towns over from where I live now. And we'd go to that bar and we'd get out, at cutoff time, 1 o'clock in the morning, and we'd go by where this turkey lived, and he roosted on a fence post every night. But if you pulled in the driveway, you could put the headlights right on him.
Okay.
So we'd pull in, put the headlights right on him, and I just hold the horn down, and you tried to see what record you could set with how many shock gobbles you'd get in a row in the middle of the night.
Like 1 o'clock in the night, just roll up and.
The most I ever got was 22 in a row till my horn just completely quit out, and then I went home. So I figured out that this local guy owned that turkey and a few other birds there. And I asked around, I'm like, where the hell do I go find this guy that owns this freaking white turkey with 3 beards? And
he was
hooks?
all white.
Yeah, he was pretty much all white.
He's
and
what they call he was a lilac breed or variety.
Yeah, he was.
It was if you look it up, they're like a smoky gray colored turkey.
Okay.
So I went into the hood down there and I figured out, I was like, who owns this turkey, over here on this road? And they're like, you got to go run into this guy at this local bar 1 town over. I went there 3 times. It took me. The 3rd time I ran into him and I'm like, bro, I'm the guy that's pulling in and making that turkey gobble in the middle of the night. Like, will you sell him? He's like, I'll sell him to you for $50. I says, okay, dude, done deal. He's like, you go over and pick him up tomorrow if you want. So I put a cage in the back of my Geo tracker.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
And I go over there, dude, and there's like 6 chickens and a couple pheasants and some other miscellaneous birds just dead.
Oh, dead?
Dead, laying all over in the middle of this driveway. And I call this guy and I'm like, dude, your whole flock over here is just wiped out, man. Like, what happened? He's like, well, the neighbor's 2 dogs got out and they killed all the birds and I can't find Thomas.
Oh, no.
If
Thomas
you can
ran
find
away.
Thomas, you can take him home. All right, dude. I walked around for an hour, couldn't find that turkey. It's like July. Come all the way back to my Geo tracker, slam the door shut where the cage was because I'm pissed. I'm like, I missed out, man. This sucks. Look under my seat, box call from last turkey season. Stick that thing out the window. Pop, 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 pop. Thing gobbles. Thing gobbles, but he's on an island in the middle of a farm pond, like 1 property over. I had no waiters or nothing. I just took my boots off and I walked across and I grabbed him. Brought him to the tracker, threw him in the back, went to my apartment. I was not thinking, man. I opened the door on that and I opened the cage, not like holding them in there. He just took off running.
Where are you going to put this thing in an apartment?
Well, I already had a cage and a roost and everything for him. It was all set
we
up,
had
man.
4-foot welded wire fence staked up on T-posts around like the only tree in the yard, and we were gonna put him in there.
Dude, so my first time home with him, he runs off. He jumps right out of the cage, jumps out of the tracker, and just runs into the woods. I chased that thing around for like 3 hours, and he was right in front of me, but I just couldn't catch him,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Fuck you, man. I'm going home. I went home and I sat in the recliner and I was like, how am I going to catch this bastard? I was like, you know what? I'm going to open the freaking fence, the whole one side of the fence, just open it wide open, and I'm going to put a Tom decoy breeding a hen right in the pen. Stuck the box call out the window every half hour or so. Eventually I looked out there. He was out there breeding a hen decoy, and I ran around the back and I fenced him in.
Army crawled in and shut the fence.
That's a great story. I'm glad we dug into that. So I had the reason why I asked, like, how'd you get a pet turkey? My wife wanted chickens, and I don't want chickens. But I did some research on turkeys, and apparently if you get them as like poults, they make really good pets. And I thought about getting a few turkeys because I have this old tin shed that I could set some T-posts up and make like a turkey run. And I don't know if I'd have to put a cover over it to keep hawks out.
They gotta have somewhere to fly up and roost though.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they definitely would prefer a good roost.
Otherwise they'll get clapped.
But what keeps them from flying over
Don't
the fence?
They're just dumb.
So they'll just fly back down into the...
They're not bright.
Dude, I watched that thing breed a wild hen 3 days in a row. In there. Thomas the turkey.
God, what a
So
legend.
if I got wild turkey poults and I made a T-post run for them and they had the shed they'd go in to get cover and then they could get up into the trees in my yard, they would come back down in and stay in my pen.
Yeah, you got to set up the pen though, so that it's like in the landing spot.
Yeah, because they get
Yeah.
so fat, it's not like they're going to coast like a wild bird out
They're
to
just gonna
200
drop
yards. They're
down.
going to drop down.
Yeah.
So, but they'll stay in. So
Yeah.
I don't have to have a cover. Like Hawk's not going to get a wild turkey because they're too big.
No, but an eagle will.
Yeah.
Well, but if they have a spot to get into, if I have like the shed open, the door, they can get in there and do their thing.
Trial and error, man. All I can tell you is the most fun part about having turkeys is get like 100 turkey calls and put them near the closest window there is to them.
Oh, dude, I'm getting turkeys, brother.
Yeah,
you
we
know
had-
that mini shed I got?
Yeah.
I could make a T-post run so easy.
Are your name one Thomas?
Oh, dude.
Every time we have a party,
Do they
man.
make good pets though? Like if you go out there, can you fuck with them and hold them?
Oh
and, like,
yeah, they're like a cat, dude. I mean, you can
Like
just
a
like you
cat.
could yell at him. You could be like, "Hey, Thomas," and he'd gobble, and you just keep yelling at him, and he would come over to you and like start strutting around you and stuff. I mean,
Oh,
like
that'd be
they're like
fun.
people. They
Like
are-
purring like a cat coming up to you, rubbing
If
on your
you
leg.
side-
my kids
sidestep
would
them.
Yeah, he
love
would
that.
start fighting, purring and stuff. But he was pretty friendly.
Sidestep him and he'd fight you. I mean, he
have-
wouldn't hurt you or nothing, but he'd spur your legs and stuff
My
if you
uncle
kind of gave him a little
I had a
sidestep.
turkey and he was not nice. He would chase your ass down.
You got one right now, man.
Dude, yeah. How you taming that beast?
That's TJ Thomas Jr.
All right,
over there.
that's fun, dude. I'm gonna try and get into the pet bird game. I talked about it with my wife because I heard do turkeys lay eggs like chickens, like daily? Is that
No.
a wild thing to consider? Like, is that
Not daily, no.
You get like 5,000 turkeys.
Just having
Like, oh,
turkey. No, just have turkey eggs. Just go out there.
When
and eat
you
them.
had Thomas, though, like the hardest thing for you to keep around was the hen.
Yeah, the hens always got killed.
They always got murked.
Whenever they nested on the ground,
Bang.
didn't matter if it was in a fence or whatever, they'd get killed.
So how do you know if you're getting a tom or a hen when you get them as poults? You just don't know.
You just don't know. I mean, they say it's temperature around that nest. Like the outside's like a couple degrees cooler than the inside, and that'll change hen versus gobbler. But you don't really know once they hatch.
What would kill them though? Like, would raccoons and shit kill those?
Dude, weasels.
Mink.
So if I
Foxes.
go by poults, will I know if they're a tom or a hen? As a poult, a poult's a little turkey, right? Like
Yeah.
a chick.
Probably not when they're that small.
So, but then how do you get one if I
gotta
wanted to
take
have like
the
a couple
risk.
toms for a pet?
You go find that guy that he bought it from and just buy it for $50.
No, I'm not
The
kidding.
easiest
I
way
wanna
is
do
is
this.
just buy a secondhand adult. But
Yeah.
Or just buy like 100
just
little
buy
ones.
a
You're gonna
bunch of
have a
them.
male in
Yeah,
there.
buy a
just
bunch
buy
of little
four and
sort 'em
hope
out.
there's a tom in the group.
Yeah,
and just
go
go the
from
hen.
there.
We can just go to bird auctions at our house. Like,
See, because
10 minutes
I'm
from
not.
my house.
I legit could have a setup to have a couple wild turkeys. Like my shed, I just empty it out. I
Just do it.
And I could do a T-post run. I've been wanting to. I think it'd be fun for the kids. And it'd
ask Ron.
You got the perfect
Rob.
trees, too.
Ask Greg's land manager. He's got a bunch of ducks and all kinds of stuff down there.
Oh, he would
might
know
have
then, huh?
one. Yeah, he might know somebody you could get one from.
how tall a fencing would I need to like make their run?
mine
5
was
foot?
only 5 foot.
To just like wire
5 footer,
fence
but like he said, make it way wider than the roost tree so they can't coast straight over the top and go to the outside.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
Kurt's
really,
turkey farm.
if you could, you're gonna limit their defense mechanism of getting up to roost, but you can also trim their primary feathers, which will prevent them from being able to fly. Obviously, you got to do it every
Kinda
time
like-
they molt, but just like a parrot or whatever, you would clip
Clip
their
that-
wings.
See what
Yep.
what are the birds? They're domestic turkeys, but they look like Easterns. That's what I would want.
I don't know what they're called.
They're not white. They're Eastern like looking or wild turkey looking.
I'm sure you could probably find some hillbilly around here, or backwoods dude.
You know
that's
how
got
fun that'd
some
be for us as a crew?
Got some actual Eastern poults or Easterns
Right.
that are.
I'm actually like, dude, that'd be so fun.
Just do it.
I'm in.
Yeah, and you would hear and see more wild turkey activity too, just because of those birds, because they can hear them, miles away.
Yeah.
You'll go out there in the morning and they'll be gobbling, and you'll be like, "Oh, they're just gobbling for fun," and then eventually you'll hear wild
One
birds
way off.
answering off in the distance.
That's the real way to turkey.
That'd be
You
a
gotta get the
fun-
live decoys.
That's illegal. I'm pretty sure in Illinois, but it would be
Everywhere.
fun.
They got out.
It'd be a fun experiment. Like for me, it's like a kid thing. Like my kids could like get to experience that a little bit. And I have the yard for it, so what the fuck, All right. off the pet turkey thing. I just thought that was a fun conversation.
R.I.P. Thomas.
Let's
the
talk
legend.
about the line of Cartel Calls for 24.
Dude.
Marathon man, calls that run.
What does that mean,
Love that.
brother? First of all, show the
I
shirt
like
off. You guys got killer merch. I'm rocking
So-
some new merch.
Yep. So that's the small frame line. Would be the Call Girl line, Snood Entertainment.
Snood.
You can find them on our website, or you will by the time the podcast comes out. They're not up there right now. But
Send snoods.
we got the
Send
man
Snood.
himself running away with rope, and I don't know. The camera's over here, I guess.
Right here.
So there he is running away with it. On the back it says "Calls That Run." You're gonna get 2 stickers. You get a more vertical sticker, and you get a lot of guys put these on their gun.
Yeah. Oh, I need
And
one
then
for the guy.
it's a 6-call set. It's 3 3-reads and 3 4-reads. And you'll have to go over to the website and check them out. But
Run it.
yeah, calls that
Run
run.
Love it, dude.
And we'll also have up there our pot calls. A bunch of our calls from the past, our main lines, the Ghostface Killer collection, Bloody Hands collection, the Hydro collection. Those are all standard. They've been out forever. You can also get the Made Man collection that we released last year with the shirt and the stickers. We're going to keep that running this year because it was super successful. That's a 5-call set, and that's more of a diverse set. So you're going to get a 2.5 read, 2 3-reads, and 2 4-reads. So you're getting like sort of the whole variation of diaphragms that we make that sound really good. So you can find exactly what you like and really hone in, and then you can buy just the certain call that you liked out of the collection for the rest of the season and for years to come. But you're going to get a total diversity, and there's something in there that everybody's going to like. Same thing with the Marathon Man collection that we're dropping this year. That's going to be like if you run a 3-read, you'll love all the 3 reads that are in it, and you'll love the 4 reads, and you're going to have basically a different call that you could run every day, switch up how you sound, and really throw something different at them. They're made in small batches.
Throw the kitchen sink at them.
Yeah, with a lot of different, we pay attention to the quality control on them. They're made fresh. Guarantee you that they've been produced like within a couple weeks of you ordering them, if not, the day that they're mailed. Mm-hmm. And it's just it doesn't get the stamp of approval unless we absolutely love it and think that you will too. We know that your mom loves it. And then we're gonna have we'll have a crystal mahogany pot. It'll be crystal over aluminum.
Sure, some of them pot calls, brother, dude.
Yes.
Dude.
Whip out the pots.
Throw some of them around. Let's get some of them. God.
So that's a cherry with a black anodized aluminum striking surface.
Sexy.
They're beautiful, and we run all of these in small quantities with locally sourced hardwoods,
Some dags on
high
'em.
quality hardwoods. Yeah, and you get a variety of strikers with them. Depending on the call, we select 2 different strikers that sound really good with that particular wood. The past couple of years, we've been running a Purple Heart and Hard Maple 2-piece striker, like you see here, and a Bloodwood 1-piece striker, just finished with some linseed oil. They're really pretty. Just you can use them on any pot call, but that's gives you a little bit of variety depending on what you like.
Dude,
Sticks. Look at all these sticks. We got cocoa sticks. We got zebra
throw some sticks around, boys. Throw some sticks
Sticks.
We
around.
got red sticks,
Show and tell.
purple
Here's a
sticks,
stick.
man. It's like Lincoln Logs, man. Look at all these sticks.
Brother,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
They got nice deep engraving around here, so you got something to hold on
Fits the
to.
finger nice.
That does fit well. Good looking
Dude.
stick.
Use them as chopsticks when you get done with it.
Yeah.
On those turkey nugs, baby. What's up?
What's up?
Big fan. Big fan.
So the one difference this year, though, is all of our pots will have one. It won't be frosted. It'll just be solid crystal. So
Nice.
and it'll have a big logo on it.
What's the difference between frosted and crystal?
It's just a different sound, different, the depth of the striking surface is, a little bit different because you have to have extra beef on it to put the frosting on so that it doesn't crack and that it's, going to stay durable for a long time. But the grit that you rough the surface with is dependent on how it sounds. So changing grit sandpaper or grade of steel wool or whatever you're conditioning your call with is going to change how it sounds. So it's just a little bit different combination to give you a little bit different sound and switch the graphic up and just, provide a little bit something different.
Does a pot call like that, when you sand it or steel wool over time, like how long does it last? Like
a long.
Can you keep it for is it a 10-year call? Is it a 2-year call? Is it a 30-year call? Lifetime. You can run a
Kid's
call like
lifetime.
that and sand it.
Yeah, calls that run.
Calls that run. All right. I just didn't know. It's like, can you ever wear one out?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've seen guys that really like sand on them. I mean, you really don't need to sand on them that much. You just have to get like
friction.
It's a friction-based call, so you have to have friction between the striking surface and what you're striking on. And
otherwise, it's just smooth. Yeah.
The striker is really where most of the friction is coming from.
So to me, that doesn't look roughed up. Like, can you call on that right now?
Oh yeah, 100%. So it's just about the angles and.
So what grit sandpaper are you using here? Like a
150 grit.
150
is what all of our calls have been designed around the past couple of years. So 150 grit sandpaper.
That sounded really good.
Thanks.
Give us another little sampler.
I'd be dead.
What's the difference between the strikers, like the different types of wood? Is there?
It's just sound,
Just different types of wood, different, like the beveling on the bottom of this versus the two piece is a little bit different. So a different angle, and it's going to give you a different sound. Purple Heart's a little bit less dense, so it's going to have a lower tone depending on the surface. This one needs to be roughed up a little bit, but, rosewood.
I like that one.
It's got a little bit more hollow, louder tone. It just depends.
Sounds
you
pretty.
You got to work on it a little bit and get it right into the tonal range that you like or how you want to sound. But you switch those up just like you switch up mouth calls. You sound like a couple different hens.
Mm-hmm.
You're improving your chances greatly.
Yeah, man, that's cool shit, dude. I love it. I love how passionate you guys are. You guys know so much
about turkeys in
like,
general.
Yeah, the species breakdown, subspecies. Like, I think you just proved your knowledge. I think it's cool to talk to you guys just on every level of turkey, and you guys have knowledge on it. But you're not cocky about it. You're just speaking from what you guys have experienced, and that's refreshing.
They just love turkeys.
That's the thing, and that's the thing when you see their clips. It's like it's easy to be like, "Well, it's a ski mask thing," and they discredit the knowledge. But you guys are mixing it up in the game in a world that's been it's been fucking boring in the turkey world until this.
Yeah,
it's been all the same until Cartel.
Yeah, it's just been a different make of the same thing over and over and over again. Then we're trying to break that mold and keep it fun and interesting,
Mm-hmm.
Fun and fresh.
Get excited about it, It only comes once a year. Get out there and hunt them, man.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you guys are killing it, man. I'm pumped to know you guys. Thank you, Joe, for introducing us to these cats. And, dude, it's just been, you guys are the guys, man.
The turkey guys.
I'm so in love with the branding. And I'm trying not to, suck your guys' dicks too hard here, but, it's just...
Aztec Warrior.
I just love it. Yeah, talk about the call. We want to promote that call.
Aztec Warrior. Right, Snyder? It's his favorite call.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it your favorite? What happened?
Why? That's the question. Why?
The call's cool, the name's cool, the cut's cool, everything about it. It just rips.
Why the cut? What's up with the cut?
It's like
it's
a keyhole or a ghost cut, but it's a combo cut, and it's got a split in it. I mean, it's a unique cut. I haven't seen anybody else make it in a call before.
Aztec.
Oh yeah.
Doug, what was your favorite call?
Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf.
Like when you guys do
That's just an OG classic.
Dude.
when you
Sounds
when you
so
guys do your
good.
cuts, do you ever just like randomly cut one and see how it sounds?
Yeah.
A lot of times, man.
Like just like and
That's
then
a
you
crazy
just land
cut.
on one. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a sweet
Try
sounding
something
call.
new.
Dozens and dozens of people that come through the call shop, and you just try different things. Or they'll bring in something that somebody else made, and you try to replicate it and change it a little bit, and you play around with it until you get it exactly right.
Yeah, because that's a weird cut on there, ain't it?
Yeah, it's the Aztec Warrior.
Can we do 5 Aztec Warrior call giveaways?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
WCB?
man.
For
So
sure.
people who listen to the podcast, once this podcast goes social, share the episode on Instagram and tag us and Cartel.
Yep.
What's your guys' Instagram handle?
It's at Cartel Custom Calls.
So, and then if you tag, then we can go through our tagged posts, and then we'll go through and whenever you guys want, 2 weeks, whenever you guys want to pick 5 winners that tag it,
Yep.
and then we'll fund it.
Send it.
Perfect. And so the other thing about the Aztec Warrior and some of the calls that the diaphragms that we have out, we call them our luxury diaphragms. They're not a 3-reed. Most 90% of the calls or more, unless they're a 2-reed that you get at a store, are going to be a 3-reed diaphragm. The Aztec Warrior, the other 3 calls that are in that line, Moonlight Madness, Limb Stalker, and Dreamcatcher, were all part of a collection that we came out with 2 years ago, and they're all 4 reeds. So they have 4 reeds. Some manufacturers would classify it as a 3.5, but there's 4 latex reeds. The top reed is cut. And the reason why 4 reeds over 3 reeds or 2 reeds is that call is going to last weeks longer than a 3-reed is, even if you're banging on it every day. It's got season-long durability, everyday versatility. You're going to be able to get more tonal range out of it, more sounds out of it, and it's going to last you a lot longer, especially if you take care of it, because there's more latex there for you to work with. So that's a lot of our calls. If you look and you check around and you look, try one of the 4 reeds. If you're pretty good with a 3-reed and you want to kind of change it up and advance it, you can get more volume out of a 4-reed than out of a 3-reed. And if you look at the audio waveforms, there's a distinct difference in the actual mechanics of the sound, the physical sound emitting from the call between a 3-reed and a 4-reed. A 3-reed has more of a slurred peak and valley, whereas a 4-reed is more of a succinct note because the amount of latex is moving and it stops fast.
Oh, okay.
Starts and stops fast, like a real hen does. If you look at her waveform, it's a step. I mean, it's a succinct note. And the way that our calls are designed with the latex thicknesses and the cuts, they're designed to assist you in your airflow so that the note is start and stop and not a slur. And it has downrange consequences like you get more gobbles at a higher rate. You're going to get them at a further distance. The call is going to last you longer.
It's
and it
sexier
makes a
sounding.
difference. It makes a difference.
4
And
reeds.
you'll hear it when you go to the woods with 4 reeds versus 3 because you can hear the sound travel all the way down in there. A 3-reed is just like slapping a fat guy. And a 4-reed is like hitting him with a baseball bat. I mean, and you can hear the sound travel all the way down in there, all the way down through the woods. You can hear it. And it'll go down there and it'll spoon.
Can you give me a
up and
vocal
it'll
sample? Because I know
suck
you
it
can.
Right
I know you
out
can give
of
me a
him.
vocal sample.
You'll hear him way down in there. You wait for it. Wait for it.
That's fucking
You go down in there and
impressive,
get 'em.
dude. I don't know if that picks up on the mic for the listeners, but that sounds like a turkey in the deep woods,
Yeah.
brother.
Gave me the chills.
We gotta get in there.
Fucking hard right now, dude.
Especially you get
I'm hard.
Wait, what?
the biggest thing is the volume. Like, I feel like a lot of people miss that part of all of it when you're trying to like locate a turkey at a long distance, when there's foliage on, late season, when you're really
Turkeypalooza time.
yeah, when you want to go turkey hunt, man, when you got foliage on, you gotta have the thermosol because you're getting hit and bit by every mosquito from here in the Mississippi River, ticks, yeah, you name it. But it's warm and that fog is set in and the barred owls are hooting and it's breaking daylight and you're trying to reach way down through the whole mess and get them to rip. And 4 reads what's going to do it.
I'm right there right now.
Late in the day, early in the day, you can smell the fresh earth and the anhydrous seeping out of the farm ground. And
God damn it. I hate turkeys, but you're getting me into it.
Oh,
you gotta love it, man. There's just
Austin's
something
fucking.
about
I can
it.
see Austin's
Dude,
dick right
don't
now.
look at me.
I'm hard.
Austin's like 1997, baby. Bring me
Here
back.
we come.
The Bulls were just straight off the repeat.
Fucking right. Well, they're still going in 96, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, right off the. They're coming into spring in '97.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, Jordan's the king. Rodman's still on top. Pippen. He's
Speaking my language now.
Dennis
right.
Rodman.
How old were you in '97?
I was born in
34.
83, so I was 13.
Hey, you're just a young boy.
I can just picture
You're about as old as Jordan, our intern.
Right?
I can just picture where you think you heard a gobble, look over to your buddy, and he's like, "We gotta go."
It was fun,
Go
too,
time.
because there weren't as many birds, so when you killed one back then, it was like a big deal.
How many birds? You've killed a lot of birds.
I haven't traveled a lot, though. Like, all my birds have came from one county, but not nearly as many as you guys.
Yeah, but I consider you a turkey guy.
It's a lot of fun.
Like I think your whitetail lord allure almost discredits your turkey hunting experience.
The turkey hunting just takes the edge off the whitetail itch. Occupies your time in the off season, but man, it's a lot of fun.
But I really don't feel like we give you enough credit personally as a turkey killer. Like you are a turkey guy. You kill a lot of birds. You kill 4 birds a year, 3 birds a year.
Usually 3 birds. Yep.
That's good for not
whiz.
leaving the state.
Yep.
And most of them are archery.
That's a
I do it the
challenge.
boring way. I just sit in the ground blind and wait on them. It's kind of fun, though, when you don't call as much and you watch them react to the decoy.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
I decapped a bird with you. That was like my highlight of the turkey game.
Pretty epic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
He took his head clean off.
I hope this email blows your tits clean off.
Did you mad at him? To stop him, or
no.
was he already
Like
stopped?
a deer.
Yeah.
He hit the decoys and stopped.
He was starting to get squirrely, like he's starting to do the slow head roll. I'm like, all right, let him have it.
I shot my wife's 40-pound Elite Spirit with
Yeah.
a full-length arrow with a decap on it. 4-fletch.
yeah.
Like 8 yards.
Yeah.
40 pounds, that's it?
Well, I was always told don't shoot more than 40 on a
feel
decap.
like
Decaps
you'd
fly
blow
better
through
when
the
you tune
back
them
wall.
down.
You didn't
What's
just
that?
blow through the back wall.
Oh, dude, I drew it fucking. It just took minimal effort. The highlight is how I dove out the fucking blind, and I don't know how I didn't get tripped up and laying on that decap.
It was impressive.
But it's just adrenaline, dude.
We need to pull that video up for old time's sake.
Yeah, somebody just brought it up on Facebook, and the group was like, "Hey, what was Kurt's?" Bless you, whoever that was, Doug.
Gee whiz.
It's funny because I'm so proud of that shot, and it wasn't that far. But a decap is like for me, it was like the bow hunting turkey thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
But what's funny is like someone asked about it, and the comment was about how I got out of the blind hole, not how I shot the bird, which is hilarious. Oh. Sorry about that sound. You don't need to hear the interview. We're gonna put volume off. But, yeah, there you go. Pink strings and all on the Elite.
It's hanging right here next to the TV.
Oh yeah, there it is. There's the bow. That's funny.
That old bird snuck in on us too. We were listening.
Quiet.
We were listening to one behind us. and
Drumming.
He almost came in, and then this bird just like boom out of the left, come over the hill.
Yeah, like in this video right now, there's a bird drumming, but the
Kurt
video
exclaimed it. If you go back in the footage, he says drumming.
Yep.
Is that what I said?
Joe,
Yeah.
if you look at this, you can see this was
Did I say that?
a big time plot that we killed him in. So you can see all the buds coming up from the fall.
Look at that.
It's pretty.
Right when you said drumming here, you said drumming on there.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that was in the video. I had to kick it. Interview, blah, blah, blah. That's what I would
It's
say.
after the interview.
That was the first time I heard a turkey really drum.
Yeah. That farm's like Jurassic Park. It's
It'll
crazy
melt your
down there.
brain.
This honestly was the day that I was like, drumming changes like the feel of turkey vibe. It was my wake up call.
Right here.
Drum right there. He's drumming.
Yeah, Austin's like, that motherfucker's close. So I'm like, oh, fuck.
You just clipped on, dude.
He was like 30. I bet he was like 30, 40 yards right there.
Behind you.
And then he saw the decoys and he's like, nope, and turned around and left.
It was a cool hunt, man. Because we set out to decap one.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to shoot one at 40 yards. I mean, I guess you could, but I didn't.
Throw it at him.
I didn't practice.
It's fun. You set the decoy up like 7 to 8 yards with that decap. You get them right up in you.
Oh, you see what this bird comes in.
What was the decoy of choice on this hunt?
It was
Avian X?
Yeah, it was an avian.
The
I can't
avian
remember
X.
if it was like a quarter strut. Jig.
I bought those decoys off you after this.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see, you can
Oh, he's a
Oh
full
yeah,
strut.
it's the strut.
through the blind, you can barely see the decoys. He slipped right in on us.
Ropes slipping through the hayfield. It
was a real dewy morning.
Mini wheat.
He's all brushed out.
Oh yeah.
Look at him. Look at him on a mission.
Just pretty. It's so cool, man.
Such weird birds.
It's like a dinosaur.
So fun when they're that close.
He's gonna come in and drum again right here.
Like you can't even see the hen decoy. That's how close they are.
So you start to get weird.
I believe that's a Dakota decoy. The strutter is. I don't think it's an Avian X. The hen is an Avian X. though.
His head's off.
Yeah. I thought no, it's a DSD. That's a DSD.
How did
strutter.
you get out of that blind?
That's what I'm saying,
That's like
dude.
Spider-Man.
That's the most impressive feat of the whole fucking thing. I don't know how I did it. I really don't. I don't remember.
What
doing...
did you even do with the bow? Like, there's like not even time for you to set it down. Look at him.
He went to go get him. He's like, oh, his head's gone. Never mind.
Well, I was gonna do the chase around. You know what I mean? It's like there's no point. I had a neck cramp from diving through that fucking blind.
If you're gonna shoot him with the bow, though, that's the way to shoot him.
It's the best way to do it, man. Like that bird's done flopping. I was gonna do the whole chase around and shit. I'm like, I'm being filmed. I don't need to chase this thing around. His head's gone. He can go as far as he wants. We'll
I don't
find
remember
it.
that sweatshirt at all.
That was the first gen we did. That was a Buckeye shot. This is like 2017,
17?
Yeah.
18 maybe.
Well, I'll probably tell you on the when you guys posted
Well,
it.
no, this would be spring of 19, I bet, because I killed my buck out of that spot in the saddle that fall before that.
That hoodie was an old like hand sketch type hoodie we did.
Jordan drew that.
Yeah, which it was cool. It did its it ran its course. But this is kind of cool. Because Austin's like, pick his head up. Oh, he's still flopping.
Oh no! Look at this snood.
Was that crazy that they still flop with their head off?
It's crazy how perfectly you cut the thing's head off.
Clean decap, brother. I couldn't believe it. What's a snood?
A snood. Well, so for years they've said that it plays a strong role in sexual selection, which that could be argued either way. So how the turkeys are lek maters. They have a lek mating display, meaning they display and the females select the male based on their display, theoretically. Typically, lek mating type birds like prairie chickens are one. They don't fight, but turkeys do fight. So they're not a true lek mater.
Oh, okay.
So, but the hens would pick them, the male that they're going to squat for based on his display is the theory behind it. And so the snood was supposedly part of that display. But
Part of the display.
in reality, if you look at what Michael Chamberlain has said, and you kind of look at it from an aside, I'm sure that everybody's had the multiple experiences and phenomena in the woods where you sit down and you call and the turkey comes to exactly that spot, right to that tree, even from a long ways away, and pinpoints exactly where you're calling from. So pay attention to that. Or two, when you're walking and calling, when you strike a turkey, most of the time, I'm saying most of the time, high percentage of the time, the turkey gobbles in front of the direction that you're traveling. In other words, you think that you're walking, trekking new ground, but what really happened is he heard you you could have just encountered him. But in reality, he's probably heard you as you're traveling and basically cut you off in the direction that you're traveling, right? So think about that. So the snood, a turkey has 2 ears. And just like other systems that we've developed as humans and, other things that you see. So a triple Doppler system would be one example of how we can pinpoint things based on triangulation. So the bird can't pinpoint certain things or like what tree you're sitting against with just 2 ears. The snood has hairs like structures that we see on stuff like cockroaches, right? The hairs, they're on this little structure right here. And that adipose tissue, it runs right into the bird's brain. And so the speculation from me would be that that's actually the third input parameter of vibration and sound and air, influxes. It can feel that through that snood, and that's sort of the third parameter that it of input to be able to pinpoint both where sound or noise is coming from and approximate positioning on the landscape of where sound's coming from. Or there's things that we can't even explain. I mean, there's a hunt we got on YouTube where we're in Killbuck, Ohio, hunting with Brad Snow. We get up on this plateau on a goblin bird, and those birds are coming to our footsteps. I mean, there's multiple circumstances where turkeys are coming to footsteps in the leaves or scratching, even minute disturbances. They can detect that from a long ways away. The other thing that you can see only in footage when you watch it really, really close and really let a bird come in and beat up the decoy, you'll typically see the snood elongate and retract, especially when the bird is coming into fight. And you'll typically see multiple gobblers when they're coming in together. One of them almost always is dedicated to looking for the spur of the decoy.
Oh, interesting.
So that's why Fred and the folks at Avian X, they've sort of put like spurs and stuff on their strutter decoys and their Jake decoys, the legs, because the birds, when they're the turkey that you're calling in, they're typically coming in looking really hard.
Looking for the weapon.
They're looking. And you'll actually see them before they come into fight. Sometimes they put the snood down and they're using that almost like they're feeling where the attack or the biggest danger to their well-being is coming from, which is the other bird's spurs. I mean, the wings and stuff are potentially dangerous, but they're thinking they're going to get
devastating like a spur would be.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for the snood to be doing a lot of activity when they're encountering another male bird, because there's no sexual selection occurring there. It's a fighting between.
I feel like
two
I've
birds.
seen fight footage of birds biting other birds' snoods.
Oh yeah, they definitely attack it.
It must be sensitive.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like getting punched in the nuts, man. I mean, it's, if it is what we think it is, that would be the equivalent, right? Obviously, their perception, they see
nerve
the world
endings, sensitive.
They're trying to get rid of
You know
their...
you know what I compare it to? So like this, what kind of decoy would this be here that Doug's been holding the entire time? The snood on this is
it's erect.
It's erect. It's short and tight and erect.
Just
so
like me.
I use the term as a joke. That sounded fucked up, but I use this term a lot as a joke with the homies. Combat dick. I say that term a lot because it's funny. But let me explain it. And a lot of people might not ever realize the terminology of combat dick. I grew up doing karate and kickboxing as a kid, and I've done kickboxing matches and stuff like that on an amateur level. And my kickboxing trainer always had this term. He's like, yeah, and he always said this. He was like a father figure, funny guy, but also you respected him because he taught you how to fight and how to fuck people up if you had to do it. And he always said, when you get nervous and you put your cup on and you're getting ready to do something crazy, how your dick and balls get all tight and into each other. He goes, it's because your body knows you're going to go into some sort of physical war
They go
or
in
activity.
defense mode.
Yeah, fight or
And,
flight.
and he said the term combat dick. And I'm like, oh my God, that's perfect. Because back in the day, if you're fighting with swords, if your dick and balls were all loose, it would just hurt every time you
Yeah, you
did
don't want that.
anything. So like, and BMX we'd ride, and kickboxing we'd ride. Every time you kicked, if you were just lax in your
Just hanging there.
area, it would cause damage to you. You wouldn't be able to do anything. Every time you jumped up and down or ran as a male, if you're,
Just swinging.
it would just hurt. So if you're getting ready to, like, if you're going to go on a run, if you're doing like track and field and you're getting ready to sprint a bunch of people, it's instinct. Your whole male package just it's ready for combat. You're tight. You're ready for speed. And it's like the same thing you see with the Snood, like, which is why this Decoy,
Yeah, he's war ready.
he's war ready. He's combat dick. He's ready to rock. Combat dick is just a funny way to explain
It's
it.
a great term.
But it's
It is.
honestly, if you ever do an activity that you're nervous about, if you were to be like,
Pay
and you
attention.
paid attention, you'd be like, yeah, I'm ready for war, brother.
That's the combat snood.
Uh-oh,
Combat
something's about
snood.
to happen.
Combat Snood.
Combat snood right there, baby.
And I said that to a guy that I worked with at Deer. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, you ever had combat dick? He's like, combat dick. And I explained it to him. He's like, holy shit, you're right. Like,
I got that right now. What's up?
That's what it is.
Whoa.
Anytime you're nervous or getting ready to do an activity, like I don't know if you've ever had it in BMX. If you were ever relaxed and you rode and you hit something and your balls dropped when you landed and you weren't like in combat mode, you felt it. You're like, oh shit, my nuts hurt when I landed. And then it's like, it's just you weren't ready for what you're about to do. It sounds silly and we're kind of joking, but it's a real thing,
It's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
you know? I think it's the same thing with turkey snoods.
Yeah.
It's the face
It's
dick
the
of
third
turkeys.
input parameter of how they figure out where everything is, man. I mean,
Yeah.
So weird.
If I could hear girls call me through my dick, it'd be my snood.
Yeah, holler at your boy.
That's right, Doug. Can you do that?
No,
Close your eyes and think, girl. I'm trying.
I tried.
That you can make so many jokes out of it, but that's a real thing. I mean, maybe-
Combat dick?
yeah.
Think about it.
It's a whole nother reason why it's fried.
It's fried, brother.
Yeah.
Rope is fried.
It's a fried
The
dick.
list goes on and on, man. We still don't know how fried it really is. We just know it's high up on that fried scale.
It's way up on that fried.
Combat snood, man. It's a real thing.
Combat snood's a good.
Snooters.
It's
Snood
and I almost like
triangulation.
even feel weird about like talking about that, but like any guy knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, 100%.
You ever been in a fist fight? If your dick and balls just loose, you get cut off by a sword. You gotta be in tight
Yeah,
to
they
the
just
body.
stab you in the sack and win.
You're ready to throw.
So like when
hooks.
I'm walking to a gobble on state land and I hear a bang in front of me, I go full
You go combat.
dick.
Yeah.
yeah, your whole body goes combat dick. Yeah, you fold. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, you guys got that
That's
down.
You ever
good.
hear like three of them gobble weighing the timber on you, and
Yeah.
that you get like that nah 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 all at the front when they all hit it, just like a millisecond off. It's like nah nah nah. It's like we got a triplet in here, boys. Better load her up.
I'm hard.
You guys are so good at that, dude. It's give me a dual sampler. Can we get a dual sampler?
It's like
I'm there.
I'm hard, dude. I mean, I'm having a good time.
Old
That's how-
combat dick here though. This thing is a warrior. Like if you're for real, the best decoy that you can buy, the thing's a punching bag.
What is this decoy?
This is the Avian X HDR Jake, and he comes with two heads, but this head position,
Oh, the head comes off. I didn't know that.
yeah, you can switch it. It comes with two heads. It comes with a low head, and it comes with this head.
What's the difference between the two heads?
It's basically the body language of the bird, and the low head's supposed to be a more aggressive posture, and this is supposed to be more of a submissive posture. I don't really read too far into that. Personally, I think this is the more aggressive posture.
Head up.
Yeah. That's typically they start getting their head up when they're gonna kick with a wing or
You
something.
need to call it decoy CS.
Yeah.
Combat snood.
Yeah.
Like that head there though, like from what I've seen, it seems like he's the one that's nervous, and you get the better reaction
yeah.
from the bird that's coming in. Like
Yeah.
he's the one like, oh shit, he's coming in, he's got his head up.
Yeah, like he knows what's coming, and he knows he's gonna get shanked, but he can't do anything about it because he's just stuck in the ground.
It seems like I'd say probably 80% of hunters, when they buy that decoy, they use the short head because they think it's the more aggressive. We never
That's
use
what they
it.
say on the box, that's the more
We take it
aggressive
right
head.
off, fresh out of the box, put that on it, never take it off. That's what we film over the whole season.
And guys will say you'll run into the low turkey population guys that are crying poverty about how few turkeys they have, and they want to shut down. They don't want you to hunt with a male turkey decoy or whatever. Like, when we kill a turkey, we're calling the turkey in, and then we're presenting it with a visual so that we can get the bird into an area where we have a clean shot opportunity. Like presenting the visual along with the audio, but the bird's coming to calling, and that's the most effective way to use a decoy. Call to the turkey, get them gobbling, be in an area where they assemble, have a visual, not in a direct line of sight of you, because they'll put you together because they see in 2 dimensions. But if they have a strong visual, like this one is a very, very strong visual. It's the best that you can get because we've experimented with all of them. 9 out of 10 times they see that, they're gonna come to it and they're gonna beat it up.
You coming to this area?
I gotta give me one of them.
Every day.
Combat Snood.
Combat Snood.
CS.
That's a
old
great
CS
term.
over there.
Yeah,
If you know what it means.
it maximizes your calling and your shooting efficiency.
Can that be our turkey call name?
And put them in?
Can we change
get
it?
them into a little bit of an open area where you can get a clean shot. Because they're gonna go to that. They're gonna go to the decoy.
Yeah. I gotta make sure my mama kills the turkey.
That's a good way to do it.
I'm gonna get into one of them.
I want to kill a turkey.
I kind of want to
You
now,
too.
too.
I'm ready to go.
You guys are
Give us another like.
strong turkey
gobble.
motivators. What's that?
Just give do another gobble.
It's like we just keep.
Whoa.
It's too real.
It sounds
It's
so
too real.
good.
It's deep eastern oak timber down in the ravine.
I hope the listeners can actually hear that. Otherwise, it's gonna sound so lame.
Oh, they
But
can hear it.
Here in studio, it's nice.
Hey, you gotta like shut off your nasal passage, and it's like all in the back of your throat.
You got Eric
Off in the
doing-
distance.
Eric's got it down. Doug got it. I don't even want to try it. I just want to.
Try it.
I just want
Try
to
it.
explain it again.
You just like shut off your nasal passage and you just let it roll in the back of your throat.
Yeah,
There
you
you
got
go.
it.
It's not as good as you
It's
guys.
like you
Joe,
can imagine
you try
him
it,
sticking
Joe.
his neck out on the limb, like on a white oak, like
Just-
400 yards down in the ravine.
Through the draw, you're just.
Full
Oh,
combat.
you
deck.
got to throw the neck into it.
Yeah.
Whoa. Holy shit.
Eric's a turkey guy all of a sudden.
Yeah, you turkey guy over there?
I'm giving up on deer. I'm going full turkey.
Oh.
All right, boys. So we're gonna do a custom WCB cartel call.
Yeah.
Are we calling it the Gooner?
The Gooner.
I think we could do better.
The Gooner's awesome.
Something with the snood.
You guys
The snood.
think about
combat
it.
dick's
and
pretty good.
What about the snooder?
The combat dick call. Combat snood.
Let's get snooty.
Combat Snood. There you go.
Do we call it the? Well, here's
Let's
the thing.
get
I wanted
We
to call
can
it.
have
I like
the
that.
Gooner. We can have the Snooder. We can have the
Snooty.
Well, we had Gooner. Let's call it the combat snood.
Combat Snood. All right.
What about let's get snooty?
Snood.
Nah, combat snood.
Start
think-
getting
Alright.
too many words and too many syllables, and it gets kind of whack. You gotta keep it like to a
Combat snood has earned its name through this episode.
combat snood,
Just call it the CS.
combat dick.
Snood.
Yeah, no one else put a combat dick in their mouth.
Put this dick in my Okay.
Didn't really think that one through.
Are we calling it
Bad marketing.
the Gooner or are we calling it combat snood?
Combat snood. I like that. I vote for that.
Do you have to take a vote? I think Gooner.
I'm voting Gooner. Combat Snood, that sounds like a collection, not a call.
I think the Gooner's got a good ring to it.
Gooner.
Ooh.
You go Gooner.
Gooner. We're going to go
Gooner.
Gooner. We can do combat snood another time.
There's always next year.
Could go snooter.
Doug's pissed with his turkey over there.
You're outvoted, brother.
There's nothing to do with turkeys, and it makes no sense.
Because I had like right away it was like the goon call, and And then Eric's like, the Gooner? And I'm like, yeah, it's the Gooner. Right away, well, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
came up to the bar, you're like, call it the Gooner? I'm like, fuck, yeah, the Gooner. That sounds good, dude.
The Gooner call.
All right. It was a collab.
And you can find all those
We
calls,
did that. We
the
just
See,
Gooner,
that proved the point.
Hey,
the
hey.
Aztec Warrior, and more at cartel-custom-calls.myshopify.com, or you can just Google it.
We'll put it in the episode description as well.
It's
Yep,
like a
it'll be in
booner.
the description down
I
below.
encourage you guys, get some of the merch, the stickers. I just love your branding. I'm the biggest fucking... I don't fanboy out on much, and I'm a fanboy of your guys' shit.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
And we
I'm a
will-
fanboy of your guys' stuff too. Your guys' branding is awesome
Thanks,
as
man.
well. But that's what people love. They attach themselves to cool branding. People that are thinking about it, living it, liking it, dreaming about it.
It's a good collab.
Yeah.
It's a good collab. I appreciate the
100%.
fuck out of you guys. You guys are the shit. Joe, thank you for introducing me to these dudes and making this connection. Because you did. You made this connection.
Well, here's the thing.
It's all your fault.
When I first met the contractor, we met through a mutual friend, and I got some calls, fell in love with him. And then we just happened to be in camp together. He's filming at Brad Miller's. We got to hunt together, and he is just like this during the hunt. Like, you're learning so much. I completely disappointed him in our first hunt. But
Yeah.
because he's like, man, we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna set this microphone in the decoys. And you're gonna hear noises you've never heard before. And this bird comes in, and I smoke his ass like 40 yards out. Like
Before he made any
There
noises.
was four of them on a dead
There's
run.
four
and
coming.
40 yards. It just over backwards, and I was like, "Oh, nice."
Comes around the corner.
he did forewarn me though. He said, "I'm not letting him get to the decoys." Just so you know, I was like,
There's no fucking B-roll with me. Like as soon as he's in my sight, like he's dead.
I love that
"Yeah."
shit.
You just see him pumping,
But-
combat Snood ready, just coming, and then you hear click.
Shoot the bird. He drops. I look back. We're all high fiving, and he
It
was
was
just so
expected.
dis. I guess we're done here.
Joe, it's like you and I shooting
Pack it
turkeys
up.
together.
Exactly. Like I don't.
Right when he
wait.
crests the hill,
But-
kill his ass.
But that being said, completely enjoyed it.
Oh, it
And
was
then
awesome.
That night, he's down there just grinding, making more calls because he's got orders coming in, and that's when I was like, I respect the shit out of this guy. One, I can appreciate good branding. I appreciate good marketing. The sales are amazing, and then just seeing the work ethic that goes in here, it's like this has to get out.
Yeah.
This is absolutely amazing. And then I've had the privilege. Somehow he ended up in every damn camp that I was in this year for deer. My Illinois buck this year, he filmed it for me.
Oh, Ronald.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, we had so much fun. But
Can't beat it.
I appreciate the hell out of these guys.
Shout out to
Joe.
you guys because
Thanks,
we
man.
made a couple calls ourselves here in the studio and like
Made
They're
them
hu-
here right
they're
before the
100%
podcast.
handmade, touched by you guys.
crazy.
Like it's bizarre how much like just cutting the reeds and stretching and doing all the shit. It's
I couldn't
awesome.
imagine making that many.
Yeah, it's a lot of
hand.
little precise things. They all add up to making a quality product and having it be the same.
And they sound good. We made them.
Good. Not bad.
I'll tell you this, like going off what you said, Joe, about hunting with these guys. We've never hunted with you. I'm excited. I was gonna say intimidated, but I'm so like with turkeys. I don't have any reservations with it. Like I'm hunting, dude. It's like it's fun. Like when I hunt with Austin, I'm not like I like you guys. I've hunted with all you guys, Joe, Austin, Doug. Like I've killed birds with all you guys. And every time I hunt, I don't look at me as being like I look at like when I'm hunting with Doug, I look at him like Doug. I'm looking up to Doug
Right.
for the turkey. When I'm hunting with Austin, I'm looking up to Austin for the turkey. When I'm hunting with Joe, I'm looking up to Joe for the turkey. And I think that's so fun because with deer hunting, we hunt by ourselves most
Yeah.
times, and you kind of control how you hunt, and you kill some deer, and you have your own way of doing it, and you get confidence in your own mythology from doing it on your own for long enough. Even if you fuck up long enough, eventually you'll kill one, and you have your own vibe. But with turkey hunting, I don't have that feeling. Like I don't ever feel confident when I go turkey hunting alone. And I don't want that to sound. I feel like that's a good thing in a way. If you hear what I'm saying, because I like the fellowship of the turkey hunt with my boys.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Eric, even though you're not a turkey guy, and I don't really consider myself to be a turkey guy, I think I'm maybe more of a turkey guy than you are.
Oh, 100%.
Because you don't claim to be a turkey guy.
Right.
It might be super fun for you and I to go try and kill a turkey on my farm.
Well, like when Doug and I would turkey hunt, like
We should do that.
it's more
fuck
of just
around all
like
the
getting together and fucking around because like we don't take it as serious deer hunt. You know, like if you spook a turkey or like it runs off, we're like, whatever.
Dude, that's what we should do. You should get a turkey tag in Illinois, and we'll go on my farm, and you and I will go,
Oh, we're gonna have a blast.
and we'll create our own dynamic of two fucking idiots.
Let's do it. That don't know how to kill
But
turkeys.
two
we're gonna kill
non-primary turkey
Two
guys.
gooners.
Like, that would be fun.
Two
Right? Wouldn't that be a
gooners.
fun dynamic?
Let's
Because
do
you
that.
and I would probably just be like, are we doing this right? You know what I mean? Just like,
Oh, it sounds good.
All of a sudden a deer comes in. What the hell?
damn.
You grew up?
Like, that'd be kind of a fun thing.
Yeah, let's do that.
We should do that.
Eric's still up to bat for Indiana. I mean, like,
Yeah, Doug-
Doug failed miserably. You killed
I
him in
got
like
taken to
3
the
minutes.
shitters.
I only succeeded because you messaged Sam and said, listen, I'm going to have Kurt home. That's the only reason.
That was a wife call. Like, look, he's gonna make you dinner.
And not that Sam gave a shit.
Yeah.
But you were like, hey, look, Kurt's going to leave at 4 a.m. He's going to drive to Indiana. We got his license already. We're going to try and kill a bird. We're going to send him home. He's going to make you turkey nuggets. And it was like a complete shot in the dark. Like, we said it to her, like, oh, fuck, hope we get some turkey nuggets. Left at 4 a.m., killed the bird by 1, got home by 4 p.m., had turkey nuggets. We were eating them at 6.
Slam dunk.
The best turkey day ever.
It was
I
pretty damn
passed Todd Anderson on his way to his farm, waved at him in the dark, and I texted him a picture of turkeys. Like, did I pass you this morning on your way out to Indiana? I'm like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to meet
100%.
up with Joe. Just a good day. Good day. Turkey hunting can be awesome. So, anyway, thank you guys. Moving around the table.
Let's kill some turkeys this
Doug,
year.
how you feeling, brother? You've been petting that turkey all night.
I'm ready to go turkey hunting.
Are you?
Yeah, like now.
Me too.
But I really love your calls. They're the best.
Thanks, bud.
Papa Smurf, man.
Yeah, we saw you guys had some success with them last year.
I should have went 4 for 4 with it, but
Killed a bird on
there's
my
a
own
gun
farm.
problem.
That to us is special too when we, when people buy them and use them and then they send us pictures of the success that they had because, it's nice to be a part. Like, we weren't involved in your success. We didn't spoon feed you a turkey or anything like that, but it's cool to see that something that we made went along with you and it was like an extension of us and went along on the hunt with you and helped you have success in the field.
Hell yeah.
That's very rewarding as a call maker to see that sort of thing from our customers. So we love it when you guys send us pictures or when anybody else sends us pictures, and we do our best to share as many of them up on social media as we can and try to create, that community of,
Yeah, we sent you a lot of pictures.
Oh yeah, I get one slug dug in the ski mask. Like
so
the
good.
next day with a dead turkey, I'm like, bro, I'm not
Dude, I
even
told
out
you
of,
to kill
we're
him
not
that
even
morning.
out of Illinois yet.
I said I was going to kill him that morning.
Murked one.
It took me 10 minutes.
Because we did that into turkey season when we did that last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this will launch in turkey season. We're ahead of schedule this year, but our format's different, dude. We're on a different type of grind this year. We're fucking
Burning.
We're cutting jugglers right now, brother. We're going for the neck.
Cutting snoods.
Cutting snoods, brother. Combat Dick, what's up? We're still hitting you with the sword. Now, you guys are the shit. I appreciate you guys coming to us from New York and driving here and willing to spend time with us. And
100%.
I don't ever want it to seem like we take guests in studio for granted, because we pride ourselves on having people here to build a destination for people to come here and hang out and create a vibe outside of just doing the podcast. And when guys like you come to us and get to experience like what we've all worked so hard on, which is the studio, and this is possible from great partners like Joe and Big Time and the rest of our partners that have allowed us to build this environment to where you guys are willing to drive to it.
And the listeners, let's give a shout out to them again. I mean, we couldn't do this without Joe and the sponsors, but the listeners too.
It's such a collective.
It is.
And I think sometimes it gets lost in conversation where they might be like, oh yeah, we're numb to it or we don't see it. But I'm telling you, we think about it every time
Every
we're
day.
here. Every week we're here when people are over, we look around. Dude, how often do we talk about we look around like, we have a fucking building, dude.
All the time.
That's a weekly conversation. I just want to kind of like hit that home. Like, we do appreciate you guys coming here to us. That means so much, because
appreciate
we could have
you
done
guys
this over
having us.
Zoom, but it wouldn't have been the same.
It's not the same, man. We appreciate the invite.
Yeah, and we're spreading the love, and we're here with you guys and Joe, and it's like coming home, you know? You're around a bunch of great people, and everybody's always constantly moving forward in their own avenue and giving you advice and support on how to make your business better and how to serve people better, and it goes around when you're actively involved in what's going on and communicating with your viewership and your listeners and with other business owners like Joe. You get better at what you're doing across the board, and it just ultimately results in better content and better products for the consumer.
Better relationships, man, in the game.
100%
Because the future of the hunting industry,
is us.
it's all in our arms,
It's
brother.
the community. It's us. It's the listeners. It's everybody makes it go around. There's so much hate and so many things going sideways in every direction nowadays. It's like, having the strong support and community to be able to do what we love to do
Yeah.
and keep the tradition going, even though it gets some changes and some twists like our brand along the way or your brand, things a little bit out of the box. It's important to keep that holistic togetherness.
For sure. Yeah, man, it's good to keep things fresh. The future of the industry it's in all our hands, like we're all a part of it in some way or another. What we can control is in the segment of the game that we're in.
100%.
And if people want to latch onto it and kind of like vibe with us, that's better. But I mean, better for us. It's better for them if they're into what we're doing. It's good all around. And then one thing we're closing out. I wanted to touch on something again. I talked about this on the Trophy Line episode 614. It was like I kind of did an intro on like men's mental health and kind of like being aware and. A lot of guys have reached out to us recently, which we're very thankful for. Us getting them through like tough times in their job and their life and their family and their marriage, of dealing with the death in the family, stuff like that. I want to just kind of close on like talk to people, man.
Yeah.
Find a good buddy that you can talk to, that you trust.
Don't be afraid to call out.
Yeah, call out, go to therapy, like, do what you got to do, man. Get right with yourself. Like, life is short, and don't be embarrassed by that. I think
Reach out to one of us. We'll be
reach out
happy.
to one of us. We'll respond when we can.
No judgment.
We try to respond all of it, no judgment at all. And I know a lot of guys reach out saying like we help them get through their day, and a lot of guys are truck drivers or welders alone or whatever it is. We're here for you, and we appreciate you. And you matter more than you might think on a day to day. If you beat yourself down, don't do that. You deserve more, and we appreciate you more than you fucking know. And you're loved, and we love you. So that's all I want to close with. So if anybody's got anything else,
You nailed it, brother.
Yeah, you nailed it.
you know what to do. Go shoot your bow. We love you. We really do.